want 5, 10, 20s, 50s are great. Take whatever your heart desires, except singles or jingles.
Mr. Kaplan.
Thank you to the nice guys.
The old cycling team.
Beautiful.
Yeah, represented. Yeah.
That is great. Okay. Hey, everybody. We are live from the American Legion here in Encinitas. And you may be thinking, why did we choose the American Legion Encinitas as a place to celebrate Billy Ray's 65th birthday? And right, first cheers of the night. Happy birthday, you big old rascal. So this story on this place goes like this. When you walked in, you may have seen a sign. There was a gentleman named Royce Williams. And he got the Medal of Honor just recently, 100 years old. And this guy, you can do some research. And all the Americans got shot out of the air, except Royce. But none of the Soviet MiGs made it home, because he took all 7 of them down by himself. And he landed on an aircraft carrier that day with about 300 bullet holes in his plane and not 1 ounce of fuel left in his plane. And he's a true American hero, and I met him here just a few weeks ago when they named this American Legion post after him. And as I was trying to figure out where should we do this birthday party, I had it down to a few places, and a friend of mine said, where would Billy Ray have it? And if Billy Ray knew the story about Royce, this would be the place Billy Ray would have his 65th birthday party, right here at the American Legion in Encinitas. Got a lot of members from the Legion here today. Got a lot of military members here today. Salute to all of you guys, and thank you for your service. We appreciate all you guys.
Thank you.
So, my goal today, Linda Welby, John Browner, Alex Padilla, how about a round of applause for the Scott VR family. And what's really amazing to me is how many people are already here, how many people are already putting down VR burgers, jalapenos and barbecue sauce. That's it.
You can smell the jalapenos.
That is what we're serving.
Oh, it's coffee.
Yeah. I was just like, I'm Mexican. I love coffee.
I should have told them pickled jalapenos. That's what I meant.
I was slicing the French jalapenos back here. I was like, we are in trouble.
Oh yeah,
In trouble.
we are in trouble. But we're so glad everybody's here.
You eat one yet?
I have not eaten one yet.
Uh-oh.
And Browner, worst part, I'm wearing white shorts.
Oh,
If I have any of those jalapenos in these shorts, we're gonna have some big problems here tonight.
Splash zone.
We have a tape we have a tape of your story about when you did that with your pants right here if we need to revisit that.
Exactly. And I was here at 11 o'clock this morning installing portalets. So at least I know what's out there and what's available to us and the hand washing station. So guys, we said we're going to do 2 hours of a live stream podcast. And I'll start off by saying, Linda, we haven't been on the radio in San Diego since 2019. And look what's going on here today, the American Legion.
It's amazing.
This is great friends.
It's amazing, and I know that the lady great friends will understand when I say I'm so touched, but I didn't wear waterproof mascara, and I just feel like it's just going to be such a heartfelt, warm, great memories of VR. So get ready, buckle up. It's going to be fun.
Well, we miss you guys. Let me tell you, we do. Big Brown, I was watching your podcast just the other day. And you and Alex were talking together about your time with Billy Ray. And I think it may have been Alex who said on your podcast, I just hope that people feel this way about me when I leave, you know?
I mean, look, man, as I sit here with you guys today, and I look out into this room, I'm thankful to be here because Scott VR built this audience in this room. And I was lucky enough, and I feel Alex feels the same way, to have been a part of what they built. And so every face I see here, every hand I shake, every conversation I have from the front of this room to the back of this room to talking to people outside on the TV side, all that came from Scott and BR 20 years ago. And so any person you see here today, you guys became a family, you guys became friends, you guys became great friends because of Scott and BR. And so I'm privileged to be here, the tiny part that I had involved in it. I was thankful for my time with BR, and it's just awesome to be here and to see you guys. So thank you for having me, and thank you guys for taking me in and being a part of it.
What do you say, Grande? Some opening thoughts here tonight?
Yeah, dude, it's really surreal to be here because I'm sure I've met all of you at one point since I started working with Scott and BR in 2012 when I was an intern. But it's really, really heartwarming to see everybody in one place at the same time for an unfortunate circumstance. But I think that for me, this room signifies what we've talked about for years, which is, yeah, we're the great friends, but really we are a great family. And we've been there through the ups, through the downs, through no championships, but you know, we've been to the games, and we've suffered together, we've cheered together, and yeah, it's just like kind of surreal to be here, to be honest. But it's really, really good to see you guys, and I can't believe why we're here, but I'm really happy that we are all here together.
Right on, exactly. Well, that's just it. It's like, it's unfortunate what has brought us all together, but on the other hand, well, at least when I think about Billy Ray, and I think about my love for Billy Ray, and then your love for Billy Ray, whether it was Billy Ray the Charger, Billy Ray the TV personality, the radio personality, the guy who tried to rip your arm off, the guy who showed up at your charity event, the guy who just took your call and was willing to talk to you. That's why I think everybody has gotten here today. Linda, I'll tell you, I saw a hacksaw outside.
I saw the saw. I saw the saw.
I see saw. I see Coach Quintero outside.
Coach's face out there.
That is just marvelous.
He's an angel baby.
He is wonderful.
Coach.
Here comes Coach Quintero.
Oh, he's one of my favorite teddy bears of all time.
Yeah. And I saw Bill Johnston, who for many, many, many years ran the Chargers PR. And Bill Johnston then went from the Chargers to the Padres, an institution in the sports world in this town. So to have a Bill Johnston show up is just such a wonderful thing. To see Bill and to see Ken Derritt, who for years worked for the Chargers, Scott Yaffe, who put out the press releases for this event. And it's so amazing to have like television news channels showing up. Either this is a really big deal or we're in a really small town.
and a lot of our sales staff from back in the day are here, and they're not gaining anything from it. They're not making any money.
But there is
But
free
they're
food.
here.
There is free
There's
food.
free food.
There's free food. So don't forget about that.
They're awesome. We had such an awesome team.
Yeah, we really did. 1090 was an incredible team. And my goal today was to do this. Look, on August 22nd, Saturday, that's Billy Ray's celebration of life at the Rock Church. We'll all be there again on the 22nd. But I just couldn't help myself that on August 10th, what would be Billy Ray's 65th birthday, I said, I got to do something. We got to do something, you know? And so here we are. And by the way, this is the night where Kimberly goes back to work on Channel 10. And so they've got a live camera crew out there for Channel 10. But she's anchoring back at the studio. Pretty amazing. Pretty incredible.
Oh, there's the wedding. That was a big story. I don't know if people were here at that particular time. That was a huge story back in the day when they got married.
Right. It's so interesting, too, to see so many listeners from 25 years ago.
You know.
I see a guy, Craig Gerber, right over there, the Gerb. Give a round of applause for the Gerb. He drove 3 hours.
Are you kidding?
He drove 3 hours from Lake Arrowhead to be here tonight. If you ever heard this song, Scott and BR, Scott and BR, that was Craig Gerber, the Bass, what a wasteland. Yeah, that was Craig Gerber right there. Seriously,
Hey,
amazing.
Craig, was he still this badass singing then? Oh, yeah.
He's gotten a little better.
I was ready for the jazzification of that
Oh
song.
no, I didn't do it. And so I want to say this. Everybody here tonight, I promise you, everybody here is welcome to come up on the stage and say something that you might like to say about Billy Ray, because I promise you, Kimberly will go back, Savannah will go back, they'll watch this, and this will mean so much to them. How many people would show up on a Monday afternoon at the American Legion at Encinitas where there's no freaking parking anywhere, right? Right? Because we're cooking BR burgers in the back. And everybody here should come up on stage and share some thoughts. So Brown, what do you say? Let's start off with Coach Quintero here. Let's give him the hot seat. What do you think? All right, Coach, come on in.
Marvelous.
Just wonderful. Just wonderful. Coach Quintero, everybody. Give it up to Coach.
Mom and Dad used to put on church here on Saturday night, so I spent a lot of nights in this place as a kid.
Coach, I'm curious, stories that you might tell all these great listeners and Charger fans and Billy Ray fans about that big old rascal.
Well, you know, I started in radio in 1990, and Billy was just finishing up his career, and he got in the radio business. Well, actually got the TV business, but fast forward, he ends up in radio in 1997. The prior 3 years, I had done the Charger post-game talk show. So they call me in. They go, "Hey, we want you to work with Billy Ray and do the Charger." I'm playing the Oakland Raiders, and Billy Ray and I were just dogging the Raiders hard. And we were up on kind of a partition like this, but a little bit higher. And a bunch of the Raider fans charged our booth. And we were going to a commercial. They were jumping up, and Billy Ray and I took our headsets off. We're pushing guys back down, and they were charging us out in the parking lot at Qualcomm Stadium. But one of the great stories, the other thing that I mentioned, when Scott would take a vacation, which wasn't all that often, I used to do a lot of talk shows with VR. And the one thing that I remember, besides shaking his hand at the end of the show, and I made sure but one story in particular was 97 as well, and Rodney Harrison. I had developed a really good relationship with Rodney before he even made the team in '94. That was the year they went to the Super Bowl. So I had this really good relationship with Rodney. So one day, Billy Ray and I are out of practice. Week of regular season, he closed practice. He got up and he pointed to me in VR like that. So, anyways, Monday comes, the Chargers make this big announcement that closed practice. And so on Wednesday, I go into the locker room, and Rodney's sitting in his cubicle. And Rodney, if you knew him, he was a yes sir, no sir guy. I mean, he played his tail off, but yes sir, no sir. So I go, Rodney, did you hear that Coach Gilbride closed practice? He goes, no. I go, remember last week when Billy Ray and I were out of practice, and you hit that free agent wide receiver, and you pointed over the sidelines? He goes, yeah. You know, obviously that team's no longer here. but anytime Billy Ray would walk on the field, he had a definite advantage over anybody else in this town. He had respect. Junior Seau had great respect for him. Anybody that came into contact with him had tremendous respect for him. I'm very sorry. I know the last decade plus has been really, really hard. And the last thing that I would say, and I can say this about Scott and Linda and Hacksaw and really anybody that I worked with in the talk show business. I mean, we grinded hard. I mean, every day we're grinding. You know, more than 8 hours. We didn't look at the watch and see when it was time to go home. We did what we had to do. But the one thing that I would say about Billy Ray and Scott, Hacksaw, Linda, anybody that had children, they were always great parents, and they always tried to make their kids activities. And VR was like that with Kimberly working late at night. I mean, VR and Savannah, they were together all the time, and they were just a great threesome. And Billy Ray talked about it all the time. And being a family man, that meant a lot to me. And I just feel really bad about how this went for him, because he fought it the best he could, and you know, he's in a better place. And we wish Kimberly and Savannah and the whole family the very, very best going forward. Thank you.
Amen to that, Coach. Coach Quintana, everybody. Give it up for Coach.
I love Coach. And I'm glad that you knew Coach was going to be family tonight. He's a family guy.
Well, I remember sitting one day, Billy Ray and I are at a commercial break, and we're sitting across from each other. And I'm younger. I've got younger kids. He's a little bit older. He's got Savannah. And I said, Billy Ray, your daughter, she went to Bishop's High School, which is like the fanciest, most expensive high school in San Diego. She's going to Cornell University. I said, Billy Ray, don't you worry that she's not growing up in the real world? And he said, I'll never forget it. He said, the goal of parenting is for your kids to never know the real world. I was like, what?
Like what it actually is, like the struggles behind the scenes, right?
Mind blown.
I will tell you the other thing, and I'm glad Coach brought it up because I always heard Coach talk about this, but Billy Ray as well, and I've mentioned this before, but I can judge harshly with men on how they talk about their wives when they're not around. And let me just say, Billy Ray, Kimberly, up on the pedestal.
Yeah.
Nobody could say anything that it was protection, and he was the best husband and the greatest dad.
Right, Billy Ray, how's it going? Great. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Oh, really? Why so? I got the most beautiful wife on the planet. I'm like, Billy Ray, she's hot. I got it. There are other women hotter. There are other women
No. She was the most beautiful woman
She's
on the
the
planet.
hottest woman on the planet.
On the planet.
Billy Ray, everything else okay? My daughter's the smartest person on the planet. No. She's smart. She's smart. But there are smarter people, and there are people that aren't as smart. No. She's the smartest.
God damn it, I'm the luckiest man in the world.
Right. And by the way, I'm pissed because I created the iPad and Steve Jobs stole it from me. He said forever that he created the iPad.
I believe it.
Stole it from me. How about a big round of applause for Hacksaw, Lee Hacksaw Hamilton here today.
Covering Southern California, no matter where you are. Linda Welby's banker.
The banker.
The banker.
It's good to be here and to be part of these festivities to honor 54. It's nice to see you guys, AP, Johnny Basketball, Scott, and the First Lady of Sports in San Diego. And, I'll be honest with you, this has been so hard for a couple of weeks to deal with what we knew was coming. Scott and I travel in a little bit different circles. He knows a lot of NFL players. I know a lot of players, a lot of broadcasters, and we know what's happened to the guys of yesteryear. And I'll tell you what, we knew that Billy Ray was going away, and we knew it was only a matter of time. And when it finally happened, I got so many phone calls from former Charger players, from guys that worked for the Chargers, from coaches that were with them. The guys I hadn't communicated with in a bunch of years have found me through the email, and we just all shared stories and the vibrancy of the guy. Item one, his wife, Kimberly. That's what I call a real power couple. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, Didn't have anything.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, they're not getting a nice guy award. I'm sorry.
Right, they're the nice guys in
Oh.
San Diego.
I'll also say this, he was in such love with his daughter Savannah. Every time I would see him, we'd talk about his daughter and my oldest son. And we'd exchange information about where they were. My son was a priest. So Billy Ray thought that was really kind of cool that I could go to church and my son would do da-da-da-da at 10 a.m. and then at noon I could drink beer and watch the NFL. He thought that was really cool.
A couple of Hail Marys, you're all set.
But we always exchanged information about Savannah. He loved his daughter and all the things that she climbed over the course of her career. And I know it's really been hard for Kimberly, it's really been hard for Savannah, because we all knew what was coming. In terms of a player, what a spectacular athlete. In terms of a person, what an even greater spectacular person Billy Ray was, in terms of giving time to the community, giving time to the media, and he played at a position. Billy Ray Smith played inside linebacker, and those guys were big, brutish people, aka Dick Butkus. And he stood there and he took all the hits, he made all the plays, he got by on intelligence, speed, and creative genius. Tell me stories about psyching out John Elway. You know, Billy Ray had 29 takeaways in an illustrious career that really was only 8 years before he got hurt. And he wound up retiring because of leg injuries. He had 29 takeaways, 26 sacks. And he'd tell me stories about coming to line of scrimmage against Elway. He was Elway's kryptonite, nemesis, and he would just go crazy by thinking what he was going to do and luring Elway into throwing passes. The next thing you know, he's jumping routes, he's got the ball, he's walking into the end zone. And he did that to a lot of quarterbacks. He was such a gifted, very different player. He was fun to be around. There was a quality, there was a class to Billy Ray Smith. And Cap will tell you, when you're in an NFL locker room, you deal with all kinds of players, good people, bad people, intellectual people, idiot people, etc. He checked off all the boxes of quality, etc. And it was so much fun as a talk show host. And we were together, John and I, Katera. We go back to the original 690, and then when that went away, we all wound up at 1090. And when they paired these guys together on 1090 in the morning show, it was uniquely different. And I used to walk down the hallway, and I'd make reference on the air to the morning show, because they always had me promote the guys on the morning show. And I started calling him the loudmouth linebacker and the wide right field goal kicker. And he didn't like it. But it got to the point where they'd come in the morning. They'd come in the morning, and Billy Ray would stand in the hallways, and he would shout, "The loudmouth linebacker and the wide right field goal kicker are in the building. We're ready to go on air." But he was a gem of a person, a complete person, and a complete player. And my heart sinks. So many players contacted me from that Georgia era, and he was only there for a couple of years, and then he retired. He was the first ingredient the Chargers drafted defensively as they tried to put a great defense around the Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. They ran out of time. He came, Lee Williams came, Junior Seau came, Gil Bird came. I mean, there were really a lot of good players, but unfortunately Fouts was at the end of his career and he went through transition. Every coach that I talked to said, what a special football intellect he was. So remember him, say a prayer for Kimberly and for Savannah. Unbelievable. He checked off all the boxes of greatness as a player, greatness as a person. I'm a talk show host, PR. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Hacksaw. Hacksaw. Beautiful song. Appreciate you, man.
You know, it was I got to work with everybody at one point, and I was the most nervous working with you. I was so nervous because you were such a legend. You had been around forever, and your name was out there, and I was, oh my goodness.
All right, here, we're telling mad stories now.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, this is about Linda.
Oh no.
Linda, if you
I
want
should
to
open that.
mic down so you don't say anything obscene. So when we had new young people who would come in to participate, be board ops, be reporters, be watch us do the talk shows, I was doing the afternoon drive. Well, sometimes new people make mistakes. So here we are, and she's nervous, I understand it, and she's on a 50,000 watt station, and my whole thing was don't screw this up. So she goes on, and it doesn't quite go well. And I made the comment, Linda, here's a quarter, call your husband and tell him you don't think this career in radio is going to work out very well. And she thought I was serious. I was just trying to be a wise ass. That's my Linda Wellness story.
Hacksaw, everybody.
That's all. That's all. All right. Whoever listens to us knows one thing about me, which is I'm a lightweight drinker. So I've already had one Coors Light. I'm a little buzzed already on one Coors Light. And here comes another one. Here comes another one. Thank you, Coach. Here's the Billy Ray. There you go, Coach. Here's the Billy Ray. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for being here this evening. Thank you, Saul.
The funny thing is, he is not. He is a lightweight. He is already drunk. So somebody take this man home.
Do these have jalapenos in them?
Who here has tried the BR burger so far? How we doing? Ann, how is it?
Great.
Yeah, good burger?
Just like that chicken wing show, we're gonna sweat.
Too late. You're already sweating.
I'm in. You're laughing at me. Browner, you know what's gonna happen.
Chewing on the mic.
Browner, you think that these jalapenos are gonna hurt me, don't you?
But listen, this is not going to end well.
You see that TV back there? That right there, that is a clip from Scott PR 2014. In that clip right there, Scott is explaining to me, Billy Ray and Linda and myself, that he had a heavy breakfast and he had a decision to make. The decision was, do I go here or do I try and make it home? You want to fill everybody in on how you filled your pants up on that story?
Well, I didn't make it home. And the best part was when Linda started poking holes in asking questions. And then I told Linda, I go, Linda, you know what the best part was? When I finally just made the decision to just relax. And
To ease into
and
it.
just let it go.
And enjoy it.
And I just sat in it, And I called my wife at the time and I said, open the door, turn on the shower, get a plastic bag.
And Gail greeted him on the lawn with a hose.
Yeah, I'm coming in hot. Probably why I'm divorced.
And then the whole conversation started with Billy Ray asking Scott, how's your day going? And Scott goes, amazing. And then he finishes the story, and then Scott goes, has that never happened to you, Billy Ray? Billy Ray's like, yeah, but my day wasn't amazing.
Right. No. Linda said Billy Ray. She goes, oh, come on, Billy Ray. That hasn't happened to you. And he goes, oh, it's happened. I don't remember describing it as awesome.
Yeah.
But it happened.
Yeah.
Having a Hank Bauer too on the field.
Oh, Hank Bauer's getting ready to join us here in a couple of minutes. Hank Bauer's coming in. I'm told Uncle Ted Leitner is coming by for a little while. I'd love to start bringing up some of the folks that have some things they want to say. My man Gary Cooper is standing right here. Gary, you want to come up and say a couple words? Come on, Coop. Come on, Coop. And by the way, we should grab Bill Johnston outside and see if Bill would like to get up in here. There he is. Okay, I want Bill to come up and say
Did you have a burger yet?
Hey, Gary Cooper from Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty Services advertised with us on the show probably starting in 2001 or 2.
Right at the beginning.
Right.
But
And
then
that's how my story's gonna start. Because I'm wondering if you remember when we first met at my office.
I do.
Because it's a classic story. So I was already with 760 KFMB Radio as a sponsor with Let's Talk Remodeling. So I get a call from the station, and they said, "Hey, would you be interested in advertising Scott VR?" I go, "Who?" "Well, Billy Ray." "Oh, yeah, Billy Ray. Yeah, that'd be cool." "And Scott." "Scott who?" "Well, he was a kicker at Pitt." "Sure, why not? Let's go for it." So they come to my office, and I will never, ever forget this because it's truly one of my favorite stories. I'm at my desk, we sit down, and I said, okay, guys, you are going to go through the same process every single one of my clients. You're going to learn why, you can call 5 different companies, you can find different answers, you're going to mix closing costs, eliminate the smoking mirrors and shelvings. For all you who are here, you know that. So anyway, I was going through this, and all of a sudden I see Scott just dropping his head like this because it was after their morning show. And then Bill and Ray and I are looking at each other eye to eye, and he looks over to my left wall, and my Vince Lombardi, what it takes to be #1. And I have my Pop Warner pictures, because I coached Jake and Pop Warner, wrestling, my daughter in softball and baseball. But anyway, he looks at that, and we went eye to eye, never looked at it again, and recited word for word. Winning isn't a sometime thing, it's an all the time thing. You don't do things right, once in a while, you do them right all the time. Winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. We never took our eyes off of each other, and by the time we looked back at Scott, his head was all the way down like this. So it was love at first sight with Bill and Ray, and when they say it's the great friends, it truly is the great friends. And one other story that I so appreciated is I asked the boys when I was coaching Pop Warner, hey, would you guys come out to one of my practices, meet my kids, give them some words of encouragement? And as you've heard through the news, was odd because Billy Ray was running the offense. And what was funny to me is Billy Ray was just, he stood back there and said, hey, you call the plays, here's the playlist here, we have at it. So I stood back and watched this whole thing. You see Scott running around, stuff like this, and all right, you know, Bill Ray was calling off some of the plays, and my quarterback at the time, I will never forget, was Austin Early. His dad's a coach for Southwestern College, I think, or one of those. But anyway, Austin Early, at an age of 8 years old, was checking off receivers and hitting the third receiver, and Billy Ray was just like, wow, that's an athlete. So anyway, to all the great friends, thank you guys for the friendship over all these years, and I sincerely appreciate the love of Billy Ray Smith and Scott Kaplan.
Thank you, Gary. Big round of applause for Gary Cooper, everybody. Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty Services.
Well, Gary wasn't there just from the beginning. He was there for the lean times, you know, for the times.
There's no doubt.
The good and the bad.
Let me get Bill Johnston up here. Bill Johnston was the PR director for the Chargers forever. And then when the Chargers moved, Bill said, I'm not moving with you guys. I'm staying in San Diego. And Bill spent the next part of his career with the Padres, which was amazing. Gosh, Bill, it's so good to see you. See, the thing about it is this. This is what I knew was going to happen here tonight. Bill, I haven't seen you in many years. You know, like COVID happened and people went in opposite directions and then people got new jobs and new lives and all things, things changed in the world. I haven't seen you in years. But I see you on social media, I keep up with what you'll put out there. And it's Billy Ray and unfortunately his passing that brings us all together here tonight, you know? And so, man, it's good to see you. I wish I was under different circumstances, obviously, but that's what Billy Ray meant to all of us, I think.
Yeah, no, BR, he means all of that to so many people. As you can see by the turnout, there's just as many people outside as there are inside.
Oh, really?
And, you know, I, as a PR guy back in the day, 1983, when we drafted BR, first round, I've known BR since 1983. We've been friends ever since because he is the kind of guy that, other than his bone-crunching handshake, he was your best friend. He made you feel like he was your best friend. And I worked closely with BR his whole career as a player, and then he moved into your world, into the media world, and he excelled at that. And his bride, you know, he's blessed to have Kim as his bride, obviously. She's an angel for him. But BR VR was, we go way back, like I said, we attended each other's weddings. We've known each other, we knew each other for 4 years.
It's hard to believe though, isn't it? 64 years old. And
now is he 64, 65 to
65 today.
65
Billy Ray's
today.
birthday, 65 today. Cheers, Billy Ray. 65 years old. That's why we're all here tonight.
Do you have a favorite story about Billy Ray? I mean, there's so many.
There are quite a few. Not necessarily one story, but when he was a rookie, we drafted VR in the first round. He came in and he had this god awful mullet.
Yeah.
You know, that only guy from Arkansas can get away with.
And a porn stash. Yeah, we had that one too.
Yeah, and he had that bad mullet, and I'm trying to tell him, it's like, that really doesn't work here in San Diego. And of course, he didn't want to hear that. He thought it was the latest thing. But soon we used to do, we'd send Billy Ray out and all of our players out in the community and represent the Chargers, right? And BR did more than his share. He loved getting out, meeting people, and he was such a good guy in the community that I always heard great things coming back. But I always tell him, it's like, you're not getting ragged about that mullet you got? And he goes, no, it's, people love it. I said, no, they're just afraid of you, BR. People love it.
You're the only one that's going to tell them the truth.
Right. Yeah. And he didn't want to hear it. Right. But he made so many friends for the team when he would be out doing speaking engagements, visiting schools, visiting hospitals, whatever, speaking on behalf of the team. He did a great job.
And then Kim got a hold of him and we lost the mullet over time.
Yeah, well, I don't blame him for disappearing into that world. He married well over his head like we all did.
Yep, he sure did. It's an amazing thing to see all these people come together on a Monday night for Billy Ray's birthday. We put this together in just a few days because all the people, Bill, Gary from Eager Trip, Dale the Budman, Fat Tony, PJ the Bling Bling, Big J, all the original Sergeant Pena right over here, all the original inner circle great friends of people, Bill, that we used to go to those party at bus at Qualcomm Stadium on Sundays before Charger games. All the people that made that happen back in 2005, Josh Danson just showed up, who was our Sobe representative way back in the day. No, these people, it's 2026. This stuff happened 20 plus years ago.
Well, I know. You guys made friends. Your broadcast was a hot product at the time. And still is, sorry.
Thanks, Bill.
But you and BR worked so well together, and obviously you guys went how many years together?
We got together in April of 2001, and we went off the air in April of 2019.
That is a long run.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, all I could think of with Billy Ray was on the show until COVID. That's right. Yeah, COVID is right. That's right. Yeah, it's an amazing run. Amazing brotherhood. And, Bill, I'll tell you that he really treated radio like football. Like he really, really just was a team guy. You know, he was all about the team. But he wanted to win. He was a competitor. I imagine, because I remember seeing him after games, and he would not be a happy man at times. I imagine he was the same way with you in the broadcast. Things didn't go perfect. Did you hear about it? Oh, we all heard about it. Because the thing was that he was already an established television personality, and he was working for Fox, and he was working for a bunch of local productions, but TV gets produced very differently than radio. Radio, we fly by the seat of our pants. We don't know who's doing what. In TV, it was very detail-oriented, so for him as a player, it was easy. So he had those expectations in radio, and I kept having to say to him, it doesn't work like that over here, big fella.
But I will say, too, that Billy Ray, yes, he did have that time. We had the sports pit going on at the radio station, and when I would walk in and something was explosive going on, Billy Ray was still an old-school Southern gentleman. And I would walk in and he would stop. And I would say, well, what's happening? What's going on? And he's like, it's okay, Lynn. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. You know, he was just such a gentleman.
He was, yeah, even when we knew things weren't quite going well for him, he was the same guy. He never changed. Him and Kim, like I said, Kim was an angel in his life, and taking care of so many things with him. And you know, we're all going to miss VR because he had that handshake, but he had such a, he was a gentleman always, so respectful.
Billy Ray was looking for old ladies to walk across the street. Billy Ray was looking for ladies to open doors for. Billy Ray was looking for people that were carrying things that needed a little extra hand that he could take from them. That's just, I'm telling you, he looked for people. Hey, can I take that from you? Carry that little lady. You know?
That's a bad stash he's got right
There's
there.
the stash.
Oh, there it
That's
is.
the one I'm telling you about. I feel like we need to have a bass line going in the background while
Hey, Bill. Thank you for coming, man. Really appreciate you. Hey, everybody, how about a round of applause for Bill Johnson, who
Thank you for putting this on.
Oh, man, my pleasure. Thank you.
VR would be happy.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Hey, you want to know something really cool? You want to know something super cool about tonight? And I knew this was going to happen. We don't know who's going to show up.
no.
But it's been out on Twitter. It's been out on Instagram, Facebook. We podcasted. Browner's been pushing it on his podcast. You don't know who's going to show up. You know who just showed up here? Without this guy, there was no Scott VR. The gentleman who was the pioneer of sports radio in Southern California, Big John Lynch, everybody, has just walked in. Wow.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
Well, hello there.
Wow.
John,
I just parked in Cardiff. Good Lord.
Did you take an Uber
You
from the
guys are
car?
popular for VR.
yeah, be honest. John, I had not spoken to you about coming tonight, but I know you saw everything on all the social platforms. What inspired you to come hang out with everybody here tonight?
Well, you know, from the very beginning, I've known VR for probably 40 years in its various lives, and we were all brothers and sisters together from the start of the second iteration of sports radio, and we had so many great times over the year. And, you know, I thought back a couple of humorous stories. One of them was, after every 3 or 4 years, every negotiation we had. And Scott, of course, was always leaving. And after every negotiation, PR would come up to me and said, you know, it's only because of Scott. He said, I'm here, and I'll work it out, but it's only because of Scott. He loved you and your family unbelievably, and he needed that raise for you.
That's absolutely true. He's a man of his word, and he had your back.
But it was true.
That's true. You know, John, one of my, I can't say favorite stories, but I'll just tell it to you. I was broadcasting a game in Seattle. I want to say the Niners were playing the Seahawks, and John Jr. was a broadcaster at Fox at the time. He had not yet gone into becoming general manager of the 49ers. And after the game, we were in the press box, he and I together, and he said to me, he goes, hey man, I just want to tell you, you are really a great friend. And I said, well, John, what do you mean by that? Like, why'd you say that? And he said, hey, Scott, I've known you really for a long time. I've known the show for a long time. And I can hear San Diego. I will carry him to the finish line. He did for me, now I'm doing for him. And that's how I felt about it. And John Jr. knew that.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Billy Ray and Kim epitomized everything good about San Diego. It came at a time when San Diego was booming, things were great, our sports business was great,
We had just taken on the Chargers. Billy Ray was a huge star, and he used to come on and do things as a player. And you know, just everything was good, and always that big smile. And you know, we've all seen a lot of stars. He was a star, but complete humility always. I just really respected and loved the guy. This is a tragic passing, yet probably a blessing. Yeah. I think so too. I think so too. I'll tell you, you will never know, because I don't verbalize this often enough, how much you meant to us as a team. Because
Giving us opportunities.
Well, it wasn't just the opportunities, though. You know what it was? Is, John, you pushed us to be better. You really did, especially me. You know, you really, as I was growing up, and as I was getting a little bit older, and as I was getting deeper into fatherhood and marriage, you kept telling me how I could become a better radio talent if I started to grow the hell up. And I'll never forget that, because
What I used to say to you is, you are a great dad. Start to communicate that to these folks, instead of going out to Lulu bars.
I was doing dick jokes on the air,
Yeah.
you know?
No.
And you were like, grow up, will you? Yeah.
But also, you're rare in radio, but you kept your distance until maybe you didn't. But most of the time, you're like, look, you got hired to do a job, go do your job. And then rarely we would see him in the window. And when we saw you in the window, we went, uh-oh.
Well, I gotta tell you, both 690 and 1090, I think we had some of the greatest sports radio in the history of the game. Very proud of what we did for San Diego.
And I am too. And John, this is how, on a night like tonight, we can get all these people here. Hey, at 5:54, Billy Ray number 54. At 5:54, cheers to Billy Ray, everybody. Cheers to Billy Ray.
Well, thank you guys. I think you got a load of folks.
We do, but also the nice guys. Just want to cover that real quick, because thank you so much for all you've done with the nice guys and Billy Ray and Kim. And we've got T-shirts that were being sold in the back for $40 each, and all the money goes to the nice guys, and all the nice guys' money goes where?
Well, the nice guys goes to help people who nobody else will help. And as we always say, a helping hand up instead of a hand out. And you know, I'm one of the last founders alive. It was a great thing to be. But we go back around 40 years. We've had 40, I believe, the 40 of these dinners. 44. This is the 44th dinner. And if you look at who we've honored, it's a history of great San Diego. Bill Tolliver, Gail Wilson, Bill Peace, it goes on and on, John Duffy, and mayors, and all the people who helped build our city. And it's going to be a great evening for them. But all the monies will go to organizations, to our organization, to help people as they come up with, you know, some kids get cancer, and they don't have enough money to pay for their gas. We give them a gas card. Things like that. It's a great organization. That one paid staff, every time we raise, goes to help people.
A hand up, another hand out. And thank you for being past president.
John Lynch, everybody. How about a big round of applause for Big John Lynch? Thank you, John, for coming, man. Love you. Love you, John. Thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for us. Hey, real quick, can we just remind everybody that, as John just mentioned, the nice guys of San Diego, I'm wearing this t-shirt, and we want you guys to all walk out with one of these BR t-shirts. I know they're a couple bucks, but you can pay credit card or cash, and we would love everybody to walk out with one of these, because really all this money raised tonight is for Billy Ray and for the nice guys. So please. How about a round of applause for Hank Bauer, everybody? Hank Bauer coached Billy Ray, he played with Billy Ray, he broadcasted games that Billy Ray played in. And Hank, I'm so glad you're here, man. Again, round of applause for Hank for literally was playing in a golf tournament down the road, like celebrities versus Navy SEALs. Hank left before the dinner, got off the golf course, got in his car, drove up here so he could be here for this event tonight.
Great friends. Great friends. Excuse me, I didn't hear you. Great friends. For Billy Ray, man, it's been a hard one. I got to coach Billy Ray. He came out my final training camp when didn't know what I was playing with a broken neck, but I was trying to play, and that son of a bitch just made it worse. Billy Ray retired me, and thank you, Billy Ray, for retiring me. I didn't know my freaking neck was fractured, but he grabbed my face mask in practice and looked like The Exorcist. My head turned one way, my body went the other, and I was flat out. I was on my back for a week. Finally saw a neurosurgeon, and he goes, dude, you know you got a broken neck. And I go, well, can you please tell me one thing? Was it Billy Ray face masking me? Or he goes, no, I think it was a hit you took last year against Cincinnati. So then I got an opportunity. Coriel asked me to coach. So I went I got a unique perspective of Billy Ray coming out as the #1 pick, as a teammate in the locker room, and where he fit in with a bunch of guys, a bunch of Hall of Famers, and a bunch of great players, and a great team. And then, he thought his shit didn't stink too, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he came out, he's a good old boy from Texas. Let me tell you, one thing he wasn't short of was confidence, okay? And that boded well for him on the field. But he's very humble, and he came out, I got a unique perspective of trying to block him, and then I got the luxury of coaching him for 4 years. And it was an honor. He was also my neighbor up in Kirasana in Cam. And it was a pleasure. We would work out together. He would work out. All I saw was Billy Ray's ass running away from me all the time, running up the hill. Billy Ray, you weigh 240. Why are you outrunning me? But he was like my little brother. He was a friend. He was a confidant. And to watch him progress as a broadcaster, was able to, help lead him there too. I can't tell you how many times he would come over to my house and we would just shoot the crap. And whenever he had a decision, he would bounce it off me. And I said, Billy Ray, what is wrong with you? Look at me. Why are you asking me for advice? Right? And he goes, and he just looked at me and goes, Hammer, he goes, I know your heart. And I go, Billy Ray, and I know your heart too. And we all know his heart, right? I mean, as good as it gets, as pure as it gets. And then to coach the guy, you know how effed up it is to coach a guy that's smarter than you? I mean, that really, you didn't have to coach Billy Ray. He studied, he did everything right, he played hard. And once you were in that circle, you were in for life.
So true, Hank. Hank Gower, everybody. But I'll never forget, Billy Ray and I, we set a meeting. It was me, our agent, and Billy Ray, the three of us on one side of the table. And on the other side were these two new guys that had just taken over 1090. One guy was the CEO, doesn't know us, doesn't know our community.
Doesn't know the history.
He doesn't know us at all. The other guy he hired, he brought him in from wherever the hell he came in from. We sit down at a table, and the guy looks across, and he says, Billy Ray, I swear to you, we think you're the greatest person on the planet. We think you're just the most beautiful, lovely, wonderful, Christian, just the best. You're perfect, right? And he looks at me and he goes, this, right? And you're fired. And you're fired.
Oh.
And he looks at Billy Ray and he goes, Billy choice is simple right now. You either leave with him or you come with us. And Billy Ray goes, I quit.
Yes!
On the spot. Now our agent goes, hey, quiet, relax, hold on a second. Billy Ray goes, no. He actually looked, he goes, you got the wrong guy. So he was covering for me as my teammate. He left, went home, told Kimberly he quit, and she went, you better get your ass back down there and go back to work. But by the time he went back, they told him he was fired. They said, no, you said you quit, so screw you. That's why we went together, again, teammates, and we sued these guys. We won, and my biggest thing was, I get to fire the CEO. I get to fire her.
Wait, that was part of your settlement?
Was I get to fire
It should
the guy.
be.
Oh,
That's just a.
payback is, you know what?
But the point I'm trying to make is that Billy Ray quit on the spot.
For you.
Because as a teammate,
100%.
he went, I don't believe in you, I believe in my team.
Did he ever, let me ask you this, did he ever get pissed off enough where he gave you the look?
Well, you know what?
The look. The look at you know.
Well, listen, I never got the look because he loved you, thankfully.
Okay.
But producers before me
Oh,
warned me about the look.
okay.
I never got it.
I never
Somehow,
got it
some
either.
way. I'm an angel, but I have heard about the look.
I got the smile, not the look. Browner got the look. I know Browner got the look.
Brother, I guarantee you got the look.
Browner definitely.
Billy Ray, when he gave you the look, and he got quiet. And at that point, you better just turn around and run as fast as you
It
can.
was a quiet storm.
Yeah.
So that's probably a word that we won't hear tonight about Billy Ray. He was quiet.
Well, he
Yeah.
could, when he got mad, he got quiet.
Right.
Yeah. And
No.
how many, I'm just curious, how many people had their hand broken by Billy Ray with a handshake?
What an asshole. I mean, seriously, Billy, do you have to shake the guy's hand and squeeze his fingertips to where the blood popped out under your fingernails?
Kim
I
always
mean, who
had-
does that? Why do you do that? I asked him, I go, dude, I don't know you're a badass. What the F are you trying to prove? Just where I grew up there in Texas.
We were at a holiday party when my husband, one of the first holiday parties when I first started working, my husband met Billy Ray for the first time. And he went in, and my husband's 6'5", he's a tall guy, not big like Billy Ray, but he's basketball tall. And he went in for the big handshake, and then my husband just put his hand in his pocket, and I said, so you want to get some food? He goes, no, I think we need to go home, I think you broke my hand.
Big
And
old rascal.
he never shook his hand after that.
And honestly, the fist bump wasn't better because he was wearing that huge ring.
ring!
The ring! And he
He went
wouldn't
to
care.
college
He would just be like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
That wasn't better
He
either.
played the college
that was
football
bad.
Hall of Famer, and he would bust your skin without exaggerating. Seriously.
But on the flip side, the biggest, baddest, biggest a-hole, toughest, the last guy in the world you want to meet in a dark alley, this guy had the heart, had the greatest heart, and loved his kid, loved his wife, loved San Diego, loved Charger fans, loved his listeners, his friends, that were all family. And when you were part of this family, you were family for life. Until you weren't.
Well, we have this on the back of the shirt. Billy Ray.
There it is.
San Diego Charger for life. San Diego Charger for life. I hope you guys will all get your t-shirts. Yeah, what do you got here? Oh, shit. Oh, my goodness. We got all kinds of people showing up here tonight. My goodness,
Corey
man.
Legion's here.
Corey Legion.
Corey Legion. Billy Ray loved Corey Legion when Corey Legion was a first-round draft choice of the Chargers. Let me, Hank Bauer, everybody, give Hank Bauer. Thank you. Come on up for a second.
Corey Legion. You're lucky I didn't run your ass over. I'm kidding. Neighbors when the Chargers was in San Diego.
Yeah, we were.
Corey lived right around the corner from me.
Okay.
Okay, Chart, these t-shirts for the nice guys, $40. Now, have you ever been to one of those great hotels where it's like 800 thread count sheets? How nice it feels? Well, this ain't it, all right? But it's still Chargers, and still Billy Ray, and what you say? Chargers for life. $40, 100% goes to great causes here in San Diego. We got Kimberly Hunt and Billy Ray Smith are our Nice Guys of the Year. It's a very prestigious event. We're having it on October 10th. You're very welcome to get online, sdniceguys.com, and go and register and come to our event. It's a beautiful event. Kimberly will be there. So I expect to see you there. After you purchase a t-shirt.
Get that t-shirt, everybody. Get that t-shirt. All right, Corey Legion was a first-round draft choice of the Chargers. See you, man. Oh, Corey, good to see you, man.
Oh, it's great. It's great to be here. It's a beautiful turnout, too.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Happy birthday to the legend.
To the legend.
Happy birthday to the legend. Yes, yes, yes. Actually, today is my nephew's birthday.
Really?
He turned 4 years old today.
Okay, man. Happy birthday to him.
There you go. I want to see your face. I was just going to ask that. Yeah, let's see
This is not the
your
gym.
beautiful face.
Do you still live in San Diego?
Yes, yes, yes. I still live here. This is home. I made San Diego home.
Nice, man.
No more South Florida. I mean,
Right.
it's too perfect out here.
Yeah, right on, man. So you got out there. See, you got drafted in what, 2006?
11.
Yeah, 11. That's what I was saying. 2011.
2011. Yeah.
Super close. That's all right, man. Not too bad. Yeah, 5 years off. You haven't changed a bit. You signed this guy in San Diego. Didn't want to leave and go to LA with the Chargers, huh?
I went for that quick stay the first 2 years, and after that, I made my way back down here to San Diego. I know where home is at.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. So when you come into the Chargers, do you learn about the history of the team and some of the great players, obviously? Junior, Billy Ray. Yeah, Corey Leeds is a big man.
I know it's a big man.
Although I will say,
I did legs today, so I'm a little fatigued right now.
You really need to work out.
although you look leaner than when you were a player. How much weight do you think you lost between when you were a player and now?
Roughly about 25 pounds.
Yeah.
20 pounds lighter.
Not too bad.
Yeah, I did lose at one point. I got down to 250, and then I got into coaching. I went to coaching at the University of Maryland, University of San Diego. And as you know, as a coach, they feed you. You're not working out, so I went right back up. Because the meals were incredible, and the late night snacks was just as good. So I kept eating like I was playing, and a little bit I know I blew right and down back up.
Oh, no way. Really? You get big after playing?
No, I got skinny after playing. I got down to like 250, and then I started coaching, and that rolled me back up to the 3.
That's more cerebral than working out, right? You're doing out.
So do you remember, like, as a young player, Billy Ray is the former Charger player, but he's like the star of media in San Diego.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, I recall him. He was always friendly with me. He always treated me well, said good things about me, both of you guys, to be exact, out there at Charger camps. And I remember you guys under that tent. And after practice, I'm like, man, you don't really got to go over there and talk with these guys. But Billy and you always made it a pleasure. Even after my terrible practice, and I'm like, God damn, I got to go watch this tape and see what I did good and did bad. You guys made it all worth it when I did come over there and sit with you.
Would you still go sit if it was just Scott?
Probably not. He's not a captain.
He was a kicker.
But it's true because back then you got to know the players differently, especially when you were a former player like Billy Ray was. And I remember there was a game, I want to say the Chargers were playing the Ravens, and it was a pregame, and you actually said to me, hey, take a picture of me and Ray Lewis together so I have it. Do you remember that?
Yes, I definitely do. Yes. Because as a kid, I watched that guy. So for me to be able to get a photo with him, I think it was my first game ever playing against the Ravens. So I was like in awe, you know what I'm saying?
So for me to go get that photo with Ray, that was a big time for me, Scott. Thanks.
You're welcome, but I guess my point is that back then, it was a little different. You know, when you're talking, it was 15, 16 years ago, and San Diego was still a small town, but we had an NFL team, we had a Major League Baseball team, and we, the fans, and even the broadcasters, we could kind of get closer to you guys back then than it seems like you can get to players now.
But also, like, just you knew the legends before you. You know, you knew, you respected. We had an interview, and help me with this because I'm terrible with
Hunter and Henry.
Hunter Henry. Oh my
Hunter, I
God.
remember this.
Oh my God. We're interviewing Hunter Henry, and we were, and he was a Razorback.
He went to Arkansas.
He
That's
was
my.
a Razorback, and we said, you know, the first interview, we said, so you're going to get to meet Billy Ray Smith. Do you know what he said? Who? And we all went.
Oh, I stole him. I stole him on the spot. I'm like, young fella.
Listen up.
You mean to tell me you go to the University of Arkansas and you're a Razorback and they didn't educate you on the stars that came before you? You don't know who Billy Ray Smith is?
His name is on the wall.
And it was photos of him on the hallways. As soon as he come out of the team locker room, there was a photo of him right here in Seattle, sacking the quarterback. Actually, he was beating the tackle with one after the quarterback. And they had another photo of him down the hallway as well, too. So they have photos of him, Leslie O'Neal, Dean. He goes down to what's the big tall offensive lineman guy. Man, he's a lawyer now.
Big tall offensive lineman guy.
That's a lawyer now.
Oh, I'm talking about Kellen Winslow?
No. That's a tight end. Ron Mix.
Ron Mix. Oh, Ron Mix. He hired him. No, I'm talking about senior, not junior Jack.
But see the respect. You understand the history. That's what it's about.
Corey, it is so cool of you to come down here and celebrate Billy Ray's 65th birthday, bro. Thank you, bro. Yeah.
This guy told me, he definitely reminded me, come through and show some love. So shoot, man, when he calls me and it's for a legend like Billy Ray, you gotta show up.
Yes, I know, man.
He's the best.
I know. Cheers, man. Corey Legion, everybody.
Thank you so much.
So cool. All right, for those of you that are watching on YouTube, I want everybody to get a sense of what's going on here at the American Legion in Encinitas because we're inside right now, and it's I'll tell you right now, it's a sauna in here, but I'm loving it. I'm loving sweating with all of you beautiful people here this evening. And Browner is now shooting video from back there. Everybody turn around to the back of the room and say hi to Browner back there. What's up, dude? Now we're getting an opportunity to see what's going on here. And then the BR burgers. Who here has tried a BR burger so far tonight? I can't tell if I'm sweating because it's hot in here or because of the jalapenos on the burger.
No, we split our food. What's happening? We're taking it down individually today.
We are indeed. Browner's outside now.
Oh, it's packed outside.
Oh,
It's packed outside.
oh, I didn't know this. I didn't know how packed it was outside when we've been here. Oh, man, it's popping. Absolutely beautiful, man.
Team.
All these people showing up.
Thank you.
Let me bring somebody up to the stage who played a massively important role in the history of the Scott VR show, and a guy who really loved Billy Ray. Guys, please put your hands together for my friend, Billy Ray's friend, Jason Finley from Callaway Golf, who's coming up to the stage. Let me tell you why Jason is so important to us. You gotta understand. His beautiful wife, Vicky, is here tonight as well. Hi, Vic. So, you gotta understand something about Jason Finley. So, I would say it was probably, Jay, very early on. 2002, 3, 4, somewhere in that neighborhood. Jason gets a hold of Billy Ray and says, hey, you guys are doing a lot of stuff in the community, a lot of charity stuff. When it comes to golf, why don't we partner up? And I'm not joking with you when I tell you, every single thing we ever did Callaway Golf was always involved. Always involved. Because they were San Diego's golf company, and we were San Diego's radio show. To the point where, when Billy Ray died 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago, Jason Finley said, we got to go with retro Callaway golf balls. And we brought some tonight because Jason had them made. These are the Scott VR golf balls on one side, and on the other side is number 54. Jason had these made. Jay, first of all, thanks for coming, man. How you doing? Great. How are you? Doing fantastic. Sweat my ass off right now, but I'm doing pretty good. I'm not sure if it's the jalapeno on the burger or if it's the heat.
It could be the jalapeno or menopause.
I think for me it's menopause.
It's menopause for me for sure.
For me it's menopause.
Menopause.
So menopause. That's right. So Jay, go back to the beginning though of when you first got a hold of Billy Ray and I and said, hey, we want to partner up. Let's be partners in all this.
Yeah, so for me, I grew up here in San Diego my entire life. I was a huge Charger fan, huge Padre fan. And I listened to sports radio. I remember going to bed as a middle schooler, listening to Jim Rome up all night, literally as I'm falling asleep every night. So I've been listening to sports radio my entire life. And so I listened to you guys obviously every morning. And heard you talking about, it must have been a golf tournament. Said, you know, we should do something together. And reached out, and here we are.
Well, that's true, but for those of you that know the history of the show, in 2019, when we go off the air, I get a call from Jason. He said, bring the team up here and do the show up here. I said, do the show? Where are we going to broadcast the show to? And he said, you don't need radio anymore. You can use YouTube and social media platforms, right? Yeah. And Jason had a studio at Callaway, and me and Billy Ray and Linda and Alex and Browner and Gary and crew, we would honestly jump in my car, we'd drive up to Carlsbad, and we would bring like 10 people and take over the office.
Just 10? You sure it wasn't more than that?
Well, it's
Sometimes. But it was the most beautiful studio. I mean, the studio at Callaway is better than like a lot of the TV studios around here. It was incredible.
Well, so Jay, you had this idea that we could continue on even past radio, because we didn't even know.
Yeah, well, and I said, you said to me, like, where does it go? I'm like, we'll show you that. Bring Alex. You can figure out how to do it around here for a couple of days. You're on your own. Little did I know, right over a year later, it was going to be there. But
we showed up at Callaway Golf in April of 2019.
And became squatters.
Yes, that's exactly what
They
we
couldn't
did.
get rid of us. They were squatting.
And by the way, these people are trying to work. And we're like, we have questions, we need help, we need to use their people. Bathroom, the bathroom.
And nice bathrooms. And you had lots of snacks everywhere.
Oh, it's great.
You love the snacks.
And by the way, at this point, just like real talk here for a second, because all you guys came here tonight because you love Billy Ray. At this point, Billy Ray, he's not like what he once was. So now, he's literally going office to office. Just talking to people.
that's right. And his favorite every day from my office is what, 4 doors down.
Yeah.
And you come in and say, hey, where's the bathroom again? Literally every day.
Yeah, right, because at that point, he's starting, like, things are happening that we don't even know. Like, none of us had any experience to know what's going on. He would joke around all the time. Well, I've been hit in the head too many times. And that was funny until the shit wasn't funny anymore, you know? But that's the way it was.
Yeah. Oh, he was incredible, and we all talk about the handshake, and every time that you were around him, you could feel just the presence that he had, but how genuine and nice of a human being he was. That's always been stuck with me.
Right. He really was an angel, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He would do anything for anybody. Right. He did not know how to say no to anybody.
That's a good quality to have sometimes. That's exactly right. Maybe you should learn something.
I should learn something from it. That's exactly what I should. Well, Jay, thank you for these golf balls. I know everybody wants some of them. What inspired you, though, to say, let's go do these retro Scott VR balls?
Well, so where the thought came from was, if you remember, way back, one of the first things we did was we made your logo golf balls, and you would send whoever Rowdy, whoever it was at the time, would send me a list of every week of everybody that you had on the air. We had a form letter, and it would go to them, and it was, hey, thanks so much for being on our show. Cowboys our partner. Here's some of their golf balls to try. And it had that logo on it. And they just, everybody that you had on the show got those golf balls. And then 54 seemed pretty obvious.
Isn't that amazing that we had this relationship? And here's the biggest golf company in the world that calls San Diego home, and we were there lucky enough to be their radio show that they all listened to, and they would send guests our golf balls. What an amazing thing. We talk about bringing somebody back on the air. You know, hey, John Elway, we sent you that dozen golf balls. We want you back on there. He would like to do it for both of us. Right, it was great for both of us. That's exactly right. Well, Jay, thanks for making these. And if you get one of these golf balls tonight, do me a favor, go out and play it. And then what I really want you to do is I want you to lose it.
And then buy more. That's what I want you to do.
I want you to lose these golf balls on golf courses all over San Diego County. Because it's kind of like a Billy Ray pay it forward thing to do. You know what I mean? You lose it, somebody else finds it, and they go, oh yeah, Scott VR. Yeah.
Maybe it'll bring you luck. Which golf course did you get the hole-in-one?
La Costa.
La Costa. Okay.
This is your hole-in-one golf ball right here, everybody. This is your hole-in-one golf ball right here. I assure you. I assure you.
Thank you for being such a great partner.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, so generous.
Hey, we appreciate you today. We appreciate you today, and we appreciate you going forward. Thank you, Jason. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you, girl.
Yeah. John Brown, what are you doing with that $100 bill?
It ain't mine. Whoever has the extra box of balls, this gentleman will give us $100.
Give the nice guys. How about if he gives the nice guys $100? All right.
This $100 to the nice guys for that sleeve of balls.
Really? Let's do it.
Oh, sure.
Here we
A
go.
sleeve of balls is $100 to the nice guy. Oops.
Here we go. Ready?
Oh, you want the full box.
Where's the nice guys? Let's go to the nice guys.
The whole box. There you go. Good job, man. Lose them all over town, will you please? Lose them all over town.
I golf every Thursday.
Okay, please lose them. Please lose them. All right, let me do this. First of all, can I ask everybody a question? Are we having a good time on Billy Ray's birthday? Cheers, everybody. I didn't know what was going on out back.
There's more people coming in.
That Tony's telling me. What do you got going on? John Carney is here, everybody. Former Charger kicker John Carney is here. What's up, Jason?
Well, Scotty, how are you?
Oh, dude, I'm so good. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for doing this. How do we get you out here tonight? How do we get you out here tonight, John?
I just got back from Canton, which was really cool. See through, really inducted. It hasn't been a tournament.
Yeah, kickers. Yeah, kickers.
They don't do that very often. Great experience.
Yeah, I saw a lot of your social media. So, Drew Brees, everybody. Drew Brees went into the Hall of Fame this past weekend. Got this Drew Brees jersey. And you know, Drew, to his credit, as much as he is loved, and really, I mean, people look up to him in New Orleans. But the fact is, Drew Brees is still a San Diego. You know?
Try to see there.
Yeah, he did. And his kids play high school football here in town, and Drew's on the coaching staff. So Drew is still very much a part of this community.
Big time. Santa Fe Christian. They got Drew Brees coaching.
Oh,
Watch
I
out.
beat that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Hey, John, I talk to you. For those of you guys that don't know this, I want you guys to listen to this because this is kind of important. So when Billy Ray is getting a little bit older, and he's probably at this point, Billy Ray's probably about 60-ish, about 4 or 5 years ago. And John coaches kickers and punters and long snappers specialists from all over the country. People fly in to work with the legendary coach John Carney. Seriously, no joke.
That's because Scott's busy.
That's right, I'm busy. But Billy Ray, because he needed to keep fit and he needed to keep his body strong, he was working out with John. So would you just talk us through, like, what Billy Ray was when you knew him early on when he first got to the Chargers versus just how you helped him along the way, especially towards the end?
Well, probably like everybody just shared, you know, Billy Ray was the Charger linebacker, the Charger linebacker. Huge impact player. I mean, if he was on the field, it's an interception, it's a knockdown pass, it's a sack. I mean, he caused so many headaches for opposing offenses. And I was just thinking about this today. Junior and Billy Ray overlapped 2 years. Junior Seau doesn't become Junior Seau without the influence and mentorship of Billy Ray. The study, the film study, the attention to detail, all that came directly from Billy Ray down to Junior. Junior passed it on to Rodney Harrison, and there's the tree. And Billy Ray later years, he slowed down, right? So he comes to the gym. Not quite as talkative as we remember. But if we wanted to get some energy out of Billy Ray, there's a couple of things we did. Okay, one was 70s and 80s music that always got him going.
He loves that music.
And then once in a while, we got to say, whoopee! Now we're getting going. And 54! 54! Now, these were like call signs to Billy Ray to get his energy up. And he was a lot of fun. And even in the last few years, everybody he'd been at our gym, and he developed great friendships with our trainers and the guys that are in the gym a lot. The handshake vice. He's still got everybody with that. He's still got it. Who here has had the vice grip of Billy Ray Smith? Because if you know him, you had it and you lost, right? You lost most of the time. So that never changed. That never changed. But here's something that's really funny, Scott. I've asked Billy Ray and Junior Seau one quarterback that they really disliked and really liked to sack. John Elway. Same guy. I don't know if it's a team. I don't know what it was. But they really did not like John Elway.
Rubbed him the wrong way.
Really wanted to make Billy Ray get him going and talk about John Elway, and then we were going to have a good workout.
Yeah, it's interesting too because you do Billy Ray like I do Billy Ray, like Linda and so many everybody else here really do Billy Ray. And then of course things did slow down, and he did start to feel the effects of all those hits to the head that he used to joke around about. And I've had a lot of people come up to me tonight and say, geez, it seems so sudden. And I'm like, well, we didn't talk about it. Like, we really intentionally did not talk about Billy Ray's condition out of love for him and his privacy. But Linda and I were at a luncheon about a month ago when Kimberly started to acknowledge it publicly. And that sort of
was the first time.
Yeah, so that sort of opened the door for Linda and I to start talking about this publicly. And then, unfortunately, things just didn't last that much longer. I was worried the whole time about this Nice Guys event. I knew he wouldn't be there, but I was the whole time I thought, gee, I don't know if he'll be with us. Because things were just, I hate to be so open and honest about it, but just things were just kind of getting a little bit worse as time was going on.
They were. Our workouts stopped in February, March. Just exercises that we had done for years that were just his bread and butter, simple exercises just became confusing and difficult. His balance, he wasn't really confident with his balance anymore. And it was very unfortunate because he really enjoyed coming to the gym and getting some work and seeing the boys and just an activity that he does really well. And that was sad to take away.
But you had such a special relationship. I think the last time I saw you, we were at that Chula Vista Police Department fundraiser, and you were sitting at Billy Ray's table, and I was sitting at the table, and I looked over at the two of you, and I thought, what a sweet relationship, because at that point, he was with us, but it was sketchy on people coming over to him, I gotta remember, but you got really locked in, and it was very special to see.
Kind of like an older brother.
Yeah.
Kind of like he was an older brother to me. When I came to the Chargers, he was the man, he was the captain. Everybody looked up to him. He invested in Billy Ray. And so we always kind of like an older brother, really. I went down to New Orleans for a while and then came back and we kind of rekindled our friendship. And we had a close group of friends, obviously Scott being part of that group that he just trusted and felt comfortable to be around.
But I can tell you guys this, no exaggeration. In 2001, when they were talking to me about being paired up with Billy Ray, I called John Carney because I was a free agent kicker with the Chargers, and John was the established kicker. And John took me under his wing and treated me nicely, as opposed to thinking that I was some sort of a threat. Clearly, he was going to start, and I wasn't even going to make the team. But
Scott was a threat. He was. I wanted the Panther to got cut. I'm sorry, Scott. I never shared that.
Well, the last day of practice, I tried to sprain my ankle intentionally, thinking that they might put me on injured reserve, But I can just say that John Carney, when I called John, I said, John, what do you think about me and Billy Ray on the radio together? You know us both. And John was the first person that said to me, you and Billy Ray are complete opposites. You will come at things from a totally different angle, but it might actually be really good on radio. That might happen. So I always called John the godfather of Scott VR, because it was you.
He saw the vision.
Yes.
He saw the vision.
You were a radio programmer, who knew?
But it's true. You guys are opposites. But, fun fact, Billy Ray can kick a football. And remember, in a preseason game here at the Chargers, he kicked the game-winning field goal. And there's actually a videotape out there that Billy Ray pulled out of his archives one time and showed me. Lou Holtz, his head coach at Arkansas, was doing a how-to video, how to play linebacker, how to throw a ball, how to kick, how to play. Well, the kicker was out of town, so we grabbed Billy Ray. And Billy Ray demonstrates how to kick a field goal, and he does an amazing job. So we're probably lucky he never eventually came after us.
That's exactly right. Hey guys, John Carney, last thing for John. John Carney just received an incredible honor. And no matter how you may feel about the Chargers today because they've taken off, some of you guys still love the Chargers. Some of us have decided never again. But we still love our San Diego Chargers. And John Carney, it was just announced, is going into the Chargers Hall of Fame. Because when you look at the history of the Chargers, the greatest field goal kicker in Charger history was John Carney. And John Carney still calls San Diego home. And John Carney still makes massive impact in the San Diego community. So how about a big round of applause for John Carney coming out to celebrate Billy Ray's 65th. John, we appreciate you, man. John Carney, everybody. All right, so
he smells good too. He does. Smells really good.
I see Scott Yaffe is here. Can I have a round of applause for Scott Yaffe right now? Scott Yaffe put together the press release that has Channel 10 outside, it has Channel 5 outside, doing live hits saying this is one of the news stories of our town today. Scott Yaffe, thank you for all your help, man.
Good job, Scott. He's a pro.
He is a pro. So you know what I'd like to do, Big Brown? I used to remember when Billy Ray and I would go out and do an appearance somewhere, do a live broadcast, and then I'd say to you, hey Brown, talk to the people.
Okay.
There are a lot of people here today that would love to come up on stage for a second and just share their love for Billy Ray. And I see a guy like Rafael Alvarez, Raphael, come on up here for one quick second, if you don't mind. Come on up here.
Come on up.
Because I know you got props too.
Oh, yeah.
So taking it to the street for a minute?
Take it to the streets.
Raphael Alvarez, in the old Qualcomm Stadium days, in the west end zone, right behind the goalpost, this guy right here led the Bolt Pride Familia. Right here. And if you were lucky enough to be at a Bolt Pride pregame tailgate party, that meant you had a nice shot of tequila. By the way, thank you to the Ramos. They brought us some nice tequila tonight. Jack Berger, right over there, Jack. Thank you, Jack Berger. I called Jack Berger this morning. I swear to God. I called Jack Berger at 9 a.m. this morning. I said, Jack, this crowd's going to get big tonight. We don't have enough toilets. We need portalets. In 10 minutes, Jack called me back, and at 11 o'clock this morning, I was here having these toilets installed here today. Jack Berger is an all-time great friend right there. Jack Berger. Billy Ray's favorite burger, as he used to say.
And for the first time, there's no line in the ladies' room. This is awesome.
Raphael Alvarez, tell everybody how you got here tonight.
Well, John Carney, brother, we celebrate you, but I was also at the Hall of Fame this weekend. Here's my lanyard, and I got off a plane that was delayed in Dallas, and I landed, I think, after 1 o'clock, and I couldn't get here soon enough to support my brothers, Scotty, VR, the whole crew, getting the whole crew back together again, and you know, this takes me back to the good old days, and when you opened up, it gave me chills when you said we're live. Because we were live at the House of Blues.
Oh, yeah.
We were live at Dave & Buster's. And we were live at the Mission Beach Boardwalk.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, epic moments. There were some shout-out shields in there, too, involved. But all of that was epic. And epic. The in-studio season kickoff party.
With the barbecue going in the back of the studio.
Barbecue, and in fact, you read my mind, Cali Comfort Barbecue. Shout out to Cali Sean. One of my favorite memories, Cali Sean, Sean Walcher, he brings out a plate, a large plate, but it still wasn't big enough for that rack of ribs, presented it to BR. BR's eyes got so big, and yes, we did all that, but I have something very special here to share. My bro Scotty's right. This is what I have.
Look at this.
To share. Look at that.
Razorback.
Big Suey, baby. Big Suey. I brought it in the studio my first time in. I shared it with BR. Big smile. I'm gonna invite. This is a participation, audience participation part of it. BR looked at this. I said, BR, I've had this for years, BR. I'd be honored for you to sign it. And he signed it. Of course, his autograph is there. But what else would he sign? Go Hogs with an exclamation mark. So on the count of 3, I'm inviting this audience participation, making sure BR hears us tonight on his birthday bash. Inviting the audience here, all the fans, BR fans, Scotty, BR, everybody. A big Go Hogs. You got me? On 3, 2, 1. Go Hogs! Yeah! Thank you, brother.
Raphael Alvarez and the Bolt Pride Familia. Johnny Bolt Pride in the house. Mrs. Raphael Alvarez right over here. Oh, man, amazing. So beautiful.
This is the first time I've met Mrs. Alvarez.
Oh, yeah. She comes around. So let's, Brown, how about if we get some folks who want to just say a few things? Because then we'll kind of broadcast this and then go outside and we'll drink some beers. We'll have some BR burgers.
All right, listen, we got 18 minutes left. You got 1 minute. Right, hold on, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. See, you're doing too much. See, this is what happens. This is what happens.
Everybody wants wants to say something.
Organized chaos.
I gotta let this thing. Listen, everybody, you'll get your minute. You'll get your minute. But be respectful of the person behind you, knowing it's only a minute. We all love VR. Everybody wants to say their piece. And out of respect of a lovely evening and this awesome gathering we've had, this room full of people, show their love for the life and times of VR. Give your 60 seconds and get out the way.
We want to hear what you have to say, but like the Oscars, we'll play you off.
MT,
If
you
we
first.
go too long.
Guys, Fat Tony, everybody.
Fat Tony!
Our Hebrew brother. Linda, first one. John Hebrew.
Oh.
He wants his minute sitting.
You want to sit down?
Man, I was in the studio with the Godfather when you hit him, when you threw the baseball.
Oh, when I threw the baseball and hit Billy Ray in the face.
Oh, I can't believe I
Well, then you were in the studio while he was running down the halls as he was chasing backs. Yeah.
You heard real fear in his voice, didn't you?
Man, Billy Ray, Scott, you saw the picture with Fat Boy. You guys, Fat Boy's been around since I was carrying him. There's no way I could carry him anymore. The love from Scott and VR, mainly the Big Old Rascal, it's been great. That Big Old Rascal, I grew up a Charger fan, and he made me a Charger fan. That's all I gotta say.
Fat Tony, everybody. Tony.
And Fat Tony did so much. He did the signs, he did the t-shirts. He's done it all. He's so creative and talented. And he always comes up with something fun and creative, and he is a dedicated great friend.
It's true. Give Fat Tony a round of applause. Fat Tony did the t-shirts. Please make sure you guys get one of these t-shirts on the way up front. What is your name, sir?
Hey, Austin Production.
Say what again?
Real quick, Austin.
Austin.
I brought you a present right there.
These cards. Put that mic right up close.
One was supposed to be for me, but I want Linda to have one as well. Because you don't do a rascal longer.
Thank you so much.
Where do these cards come from? From your collection or something?
No, I bought them on eBay.
Oh, really?
One of the middle rascal passed away, and I had to get a memory. I'll buy another one. I want you guys to have
Oh, thanks a
You
lot,
are
man.
awesome. Thank you. I'll treasure this.
Alex, Brownman, you guys. I wish I was filming this. I'd be super happy, but long time listener, great friend. I'm glad to be here. Came here from Riverside.
Wow,
Just to be
man.
a part of the group.
All the way from Riverside.
Appreciate you, dude.
Big old rascal would appreciate that.
Appreciate you, dude. Hey, Don Benson, you gonna come up here and show off that t-shirt of 25 years? Don and Lori Benson would show up to everything we ever did. One time we actually did a broadcast, Billy Ray and I, from a model home that Lori, her company had, and she won a contest of Scott VR will come broadcast from your business. And we actually showed up and Lori had us there broadcasting from a model home. But Don, show off that shirt. That thing is old school. Man.
2004 maybe.
That looks great.
Long time. I can't believe I still have it. But that contest you mentioned, Lori wants to know if she really won or you rigged it so that she would win.
Well, you know, I have a thing for, Lori. We love her.
We all love
That's
Lori.
right. Yeah, she's a lover. And I remember Lori had given us these robes. They said Scott on mine, Billy Ray on his. And we had Pratty who was with us. He was pretty young at the time. And Lori goes, well, let me show you what's going on upstairs. And Pratty goes, it's about time. Like, he thought something was going down.
Well, I thought that was you who said that, not Patty.
Okay, maybe it
Well,
might have
that's
been me.
fuzzy. That's fuzzy over the years. I don't remember.
You're more likely to say that. Patty,
Oh, it would be Scott, for
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that was a great memory. And Lori always tells me I would wake up in the morning and listen to you. And back then you were on at 5 a.m. maybe?
Yeah.
And you had this contest or this segment called Who's Up and Why?
Yeah.
And people would call in. And one guy was a burglar,
Right.
criminal, and one guy was, I don't know, a milkman, I don't know. And he would call in and over people's houses.
Yeah.
And you would interview them like it was Dan Rather on the CBS News. and so anyway, Lloyd would listen to you in our show, and she wasn't a fan. And then one day you had Brandon Lang on, and it pissed her off because he was very sexist. He called you booty.
He called me Bootsy. Remember that? Bootsy.
And she said, "Who is this effing guy on the radio?" And Steve was coming out of her ears, just a lot like you. And,
We don't tolerate it.
and then she became a fan. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Here we are.
And by the way, the Bensons always host before the yacht the cruise on Yacht America. They host a great party beforehand. So thank you for doing that over the
I
years.
don't understand my time, so it's great seeing you guys.
John and Lori Benson,
Love the
everybody.
Bensons.
Hey, Jake Harris, you gonna come up and say hello? Yeah, come on, Requested is here. Come on in here, Requested.
How's it going? Brother, Cap, everybody, just want to say it's good to be here. I want to talk about BR real quick, 3 different things. BR the player, so I'm an old man in the 80s, cool ass cards, the royal blue with the yellow grill. I collected cards, that's how I first found out about him. You know, you had Gilbert, all those guys. John Carney, that's my first iteration of the Chargers. John Freeze, love those. I love those Chargers. I know I'm probably getting talked about because it's Jersey, but I did it for Philip, San Diego Charger. But also Billy Ray, the husband, I try to be like him and be old school and just love your one woman. You don't have to be with every single person in the world. You can love your wife all the way to you go the next life in heaven. So big ups to him on that. Also, I don't know if you guys remember something called GFSN. I want to thank this man. I think Scott is responsible for everybody in San Diego radio. He's given everybody a chance. So if they don't say it, I'll say it for him. I love him. And only a guy like Scott that has a field day making fun of the Chargers in Los Angeles would come back home and honor his guy, BR. This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. My daughter started school today, but even though she started school, I wanted to make sure I came for Billy Ray's birthday. I love everybody up here.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful, bro. I see Head is right here. Do you guys remember a guy named Mike Milburn? And Mike Milburn was working at the radio station, and Billy Ray decided to call him Head. But Billy Ray didn't want to call him Head because he didn't want to hurt his feelings.
Why?
So he told me to call him Head.
Why would he call him that?
And then I called him Head, and then everybody started calling him Head, but it was all Billy Ray.
There could be a number of translations. We don't know.
The main story behind that is the second day I interned for you guys, you forgot what my name was. And you called me the intern with the head that looked like a test tube baby. And it took off from there, and it got to the point, trying to tell the story really quick, so I know I'm out of time. We got a shirt in the mail one morning addressed to the Scott Kaplan show. You guys brought me in studio to look at this shirt. It didn't even have the logo on the front because whoever sent it didn't have the logo. It said Mighty 1090. On the back was the picture of this kid behind the lighthouse lens, and his head was enormous. The shirt said, "Got head, the Mighty 1090 lens." And you guys were grilling me about this shirt, asking if I knew anything about it. I had no idea. But the longer the bit went on, I looked at it and I realized, okay, guys, that picture is me as a kid. And then Billy Ray, I thought was going to fall out of his seat laughing. And then I said, okay, I need to see the return address on this package. I need to see where this is from. I saw the address. My heart immediately hit the floor, and I just looked at the two. I said, guys, my uncle made this shirt and sent it to the station without my knowledge. And you guys would be happy to know.
Oh boy.
I actually have
No way.
the original prototype. The front of it right here did not have the logo, and then on the back, there it is. Got head, Mighty 1090.
Oh, beautiful.
You can thank my Uncle Roger for making that shirt and sending it to the station, which we sold on the website. But I want to thank you and Billy Ray. You guys made a 19-year-old kid, so
Life
happy,
miserable.
interning for you guys. You made me a celebrity on your show, and I will never ever forget it. I still get called that name to this day. That's 23 years later.
And you have a beautiful head.
Oh, thank you.
You do.
Thank you very
Hey,
much.
round of applause for Ted, everybody. Mighty 1090 does. There you go, Mike. Appreciate you, brother. That's awesome. Come on up here, man. Drew Brees in the house, everybody. What is your name, dude?
My name is Angel. I have the honor of playing for the Junior State High School, Oceanside, California.
Oh, yeah.
So I just want to keep it short and sweet. I'm only 26. A lot of people probably are like, hey, maybe you gotta be here. I was listening since I was in 5th grade. Me and my dad, he would drop me off to school every single day. And this was Survivor, March and Chelsea. And this was before it was even a book. I was never very good in school, but I did the book report on that book. I got an A. So, hey, how's it going? Come in there.
Hey, hey, thanks, man.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
coming.
coming.
Thanks, man. That's beautiful.
Where's your
Is your
dad?
dad right here?
Good dad.
Good dad.
Good dad.
He's talking about, remember the movie The Lone Survivor, the book The Lone Survivor, Marcus Luttrell. And
That
we
was a good
did
interview.
hours of interviews with him. Wow, you never know how it impacts somebody 26 years old. 5th grade, amazing. Amazing.
It already started.
Go.
Come on, Cabby.
Okay,
You're looking at
already
about
started.
47
Greg
seconds.
Gerber, what are you thinking about? Hey, this guy drove 3 hours from Lake Arrowhead today.
I gotta try to be quick, but I want to thank you for setting this up. So how about for Cappy? Let's give him a hand. I know a lot of other people did some extra things, but because of that 3-hour drive, Gary Cooper helped me buy my house because of you guys, Scott and VR. So, and I still haven't got a chance to say hi to Gary yet.
Non-trust.
So, and yep, non-trust mortgage. So I know I got a short time, but just the things you guys did for me, seriously, I hung out with rock stars. I've been in videos, but hanging out with you guys and an ex-football player was just the world to me. And you guys did a lot of things for me, being able to play, have batting practice, down at Qualcomm, Angel Stadium, having band practice together. VR learned the song that I did that he sang kind of halfway okay. But I just want to just tell VR I love you, man, and I love you too.
Love you too,
Oh,
Gerber.
man.
Craig Gerber, everybody, drove all the way down 3 hours to come down here
Drive
to
back.
jump in.
If you don't want to buy a t-shirt.
If you don't want to buy a t-shirt, but you want to put a couple bucks,
Oh, wait. There's
hey, here's $100 right here. Hey, this is John Glennie stopping in right here. You know what's amazing is how we know everybody's names because we spent so many years together.
I know.
You know that we
It's a
have
long time.
real relationships with people.
This is awesome. Scott, thanks for doing this. Mine's gonna be short and quick, but it's pretty funny. Full circle up here. His rookie year, '83, me and my buddy, we've been Chargers fans since first grade. And it's 1983, his rookie year, it was a Sunday or Monday night game against the Raiders. And we would always go out to the players' parking lot to see the players leave, We want to get my head out, whatever, say hi to them. And so we're in the parking lot there. Billy Ray comes up with this red and white igloo cooler. Remember that was yesterday. Lowenbrow's in there. Says, hey, you guys want to have a beer? So we're sitting on the cement at Jack Murphy Stadium. We're sitting on the cement, drinking a Lowenbrow, and all of a sudden this girl comes by and she goes, hey, this is my brother. To Billy Ray. Billy Ray said, no. And then all of a sudden, her brother comes up. I think his name was Marcus Allen. So we sat there and had a beer. Now, this same friend of mine, Ken, who was with me, rest in peace, he passed away about 5 years ago. But he tends to spit a lot after he drinks about 10, 12 Coors Light. So I took him to the first A2 tailgate party bus when Judge Steve was, with the party bus, right? And he is trying to tell Billy Ray the story about how we had a beer with him the rookie year. Well, he was spitting all over Billy Ray. Billy Ray was on the air that day in a suit. He looks at me and goes, thanks, dude. I gotta go home and take a fucking shower because you're a friend.
Just spit all over me. John Glennie, everybody, stopping in here this afternoon. Got Coach right here. I know we're gonna just a little bit more time. Just some people that want to say some things. Here's a guy right here coming up. Let me tell you something right now. Billy Ray would do things for big charities. He'd host big events. Thousands of people would be there, hundreds of people. Everybody saw him do big things. But sometimes he just went and visited somebody one-on-one. Just one-on-one. Coach Tom, how you doing, man?
I'm glad I made it today. I'm a girls soccer coach. I've been watching Scott and VR since the time their first one. I've called in several times. These two gentlemen are some of the funnest people that I've ever met. I talked with Scott on Instagram, and he when I get down, because I have PTSD, I get down and I put something in. Scott's the first one to come back and say, hey, come on, just get it together. You don't have to do that. BR went to, I asked him, I got my first big high school soccer game at Modern Catholic in Chula Vista. And I asked the big love to come down, and he would come down and be my honorary captain at my first game. And it meant a great deal to me. And I came down there, and it was jovial as hell. He walked out on the field with me, and he was just a joy to stay till halftime, and then we walked up, gave me a hug, walked up and left. And both Scott and VR were two of my they bought uniforms for my girls soccer teams because we have girls that some of these girls are from very low income places, and they bought uniforms. They don't have to do that. They did it because he loved the people that he's around. Scott and VR. You guys are awesome. I miss VR terribly.
Thank you, Coach. And
Coach,
Coach, everybody.
thank you.
Think about
Thank you
that.
for everything you've done.
Just think about that for a second. Coach gets a hold of Billy Ray. Doesn't call a PR person, doesn't call a producer, gets a hold of Billy Ray. Will you come down and be my honorary coach? He drives from Del Mar down to Chula Vista to be there for Coach Tom's first game as a soccer coach at Modern Day. Because that's who the hell Billy Ray freaking was in real life. Wasn't too good to say, no, I don't have time, I can't do it.
Let's hear it for Coach.
Coach Tom Diamond, everybody. Coach, what a pleasure, man. What a pleasure. We got one more? If anybody else would like to say anything, Gary, you should come up here and say something. Sensi, you should come up. You of all people should come up here and say something. Okay. All right, guys. Hey.
He's OG.
Gary did everything to help us grow our show. From handling the bus, to getting it fixed, to getting freaking ice, barbecue, burgers, beers. It was like, I don't know, he just was always available, always had time to do stuff for the show. And it was Gary and really this inner circle of folks that are sitting up front here that really helped propel the show to the point where all these years later we can't even do something like this.
Well, I remember when I first came on, I thought you worked for the like I thought you worked at the station. And I said to Scott, I said, "Now what does Gary do? What's Gary's title?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, just a great friend," and he's just always doing stuff.
Gary was unemployed. For sure. Yeah, so these past couple of days have been very hard because I was honored enough to know Billy Ray on a personal level, and he attended my wedding. You guys out there in the crowd, everybody, I've pretty much had an adult life growing up with all you guys, and it's great to see all of you guys again. I want to tell a story
and they're so, I could write a book, but I'd probably get in trouble with someone, so I'm probably not gonna do that. But every morning when Billy Ray got off the air, he would make a phone call, and I'd watch him make this phone call in the studio, just hanging out. And I watched and watched and watched and watched. And one morning I said, Billy Ray, who are you calling? He says, I'm calling Kimberly. So you call every day to get off the show? He goes, hell yeah, I do. And I said, you know what? I took a note in my head and I said, if I ever get lucky enough to meet a girl like Kimberly Hunt, I'm gonna make that effort to make her feel special. She's sitting right here in the front row.
Yeah.
Amy. And so every day, and I don't think I've ever told her this, but in honor of Billy Ray, we have I call her Pie, and we have a mid-morning pie call. And I call her every morning around the same time the show ended, between 9 and 10. And we talk every day at that time. And that's in honor of Billy Ray. And I just love the guy. I miss him so much. There are so many stories, and I love everybody on this stage. You guys have all been like family to me. And thank you so much for coming tonight. I know everybody hurts, but you know what? That guy's looking down. He's laughing at us right now. And he's going, I fucking love this. He is loving this. Hell yeah.
Amen.
Great friends.
Great friends. Amen. You know, Gary, when we, this is like last Monday, I call Alex and go, hey, we got to do something for Billy Ray's birthday. We call Gary. Gary takes over. Gary is literally dealing with everybody here at the American Legion. By the way, shout out and a big round of applause for everybody here at the American Legion for hosting us tonight. Please make sure we're taking care of these bartenders. Okay? Make sure we're taking care of these folks. But Gary took over. So I said, hey, Gary, I got a guy who can do the grilling. He said, well, I got Dale the Budman. I said, great, we'll put them together. I said, I got a guy that can come and DJ. Did Chris Cantori make it? I know that he had some massive. Chris Cantori is the most famous DJ in the history of San Diego radio. And he called me and said, I want to come play like Van Halen songs and Sammy Hagar songs outside for Billy Ray's birthday. You should get him and bring him in for a minute.
But look who's here. Daryl Sensitive Sax. Sensitive.
And this is all new because every time I came on, there was a song that came on before I got on the microphone. And it was that Taking It to the Street song, and that took off. And I'm not sure, I think it was Billy Ray that said, this is the song that we're gonna play every single time you get on the radio, and it was Taking It to the Streets. And so as a kid growing up in San Diego, that idolized Billy Ray, the Chargers, it was an honor to meet Billy Ray, number one, but then be invited into the family, being a part of the show, being a part of radio. I had no idea what I was walking into when I first met up with you guys. But then there was this weird dynamic of, do you belong to the Scott and BR show? Do you belong to Too Much show with Darren and Billy? Like, who has Daryl Sykes, Sensitive Sykes, or Psycho Sykes? So I had multiple different personalities with the show. It was great. Browner. I was the first black guy on the show. I mean,
He was the original.
I was the original black guy on the show.
This guy right here.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. But here's the best part.
He broke the ceiling.
I broke the ceiling.
He went through it.
I don't remember, but we called your mother on the show one day.
So true.
I don't remember why we called her.
Because you were an asshole.
Oh.
That's the reason why.
That is the reason.
That's the reason why.
I'm like, get Daryl's mom on the phone. She calls up. And we said, your son this, your son that. And she goes, well, you know, he's very sensitive. And once she said that, Billy Ray said, no, she did not.
My head went down.
In that moment, he became Daryl Sensitive Sykes.
We were at Viejas that day. And she called in, and she said, Daryl Sensitive. So she said, he's sensitive. And it became Daryl Sensitive Sykes. And then it took off.
How about the time that Gary was there, he'll remember it, when we almost got killed in Oakland in the stadium for a Charger Raider game, because Billy Ray was yelling and screaming at everybody in the stands.
Yeah, but don't worry. I had your back. We were good.
Yeah.
We were good. I walked through like the black guy I was, thinking I was tough. And there were a lot more tough guys up there. but I thought I was the toughest guy in Oakland.
Well, you kept your cool a lot.
I
Always
kept
on
the
the
cool
air.
line. Billy
Always
Ray was a
behind
lot
the
bigger. Scott was behind us, but we made it through. We were good. But Scott, Hotel Monaco. Hotel Monaco.
That's what Billy Ray was saying.
That's what he said. I mean, that was a great trip up to San Francisco that weekend with the Chargers. The Charger Curls, I'm not sure if you remember that. They were on a flight with us. Yes. Set us up there. We had a great time. I mean, just all the many things that we did and what we were able to accomplish on the radio in San Diego was amazing.
And you know, one of the last things, Daryl, was there was the one day that I'll never forget. We've never really talked about this too much publicly. You know what I'm talking about. Do you? I'm not sure.
He's married now and has a beautiful daughter.
So you text me first.
Well, truth be told, one morning we're about to go on stage at the House of Blues.
Yes.
Okay. Do you mind if I talk about this?
I'm okay with it.
And we're backstage. This is no shit. We're backstage and we're getting ready to go on. We're 5 minutes from the curtains opening. The band is going to play. We're going to come out. 1,000 people are going to erupt. It's going to be unbelievable. Daryl has an epileptic seizure backstage. Like, I look at him, I'm like, hey, Daryl, we're about to open the curtain. His eyes roll and he falls backwards. And we don't know what the hell to do. But I promise you this, Billy Ray was down on a knee, holding on to Daryl the entire time. Nobody could get cell service. So I ran out to the stage and went to what's called the Comrex, is how I could communicate back to the station. Call an ambulance, call 911, Daryl went down. But Billy Ray, truth be right, he held on to
I don't know. I was there.
Billy Ray held on to Daryl the entire time and kind of smacked him out of it almost. But it was an amazing thing because he took control of the situation.
He was my father figure that day.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. And what's funny about that is he called me that afternoon to make sure that I was okay. And the only thing I said was, because the Chargers were going to Pittsburgh, I said, I have a flight for Pittsburgh in the morning. I'm still going to the game. I'm still going to the playoff game. And he said, are you sure? I go, well, I've already paid for the tickets and the flight. The doctors aren't going to keep me here. We're good. And that's just the kind of guy that Billy Ray was.
2011 also, Daryl has this great video that's out there on the internet of Daryl MC and DJ Jamal DJing, and we're all at the Bolt Pride Familia party in 2011.
Shout out to Bolt Pride.
Yes, Bolt Pride Familia in the house.
That was such a time. Such a time.
It was
I
amazing.
mean, those tailgates were epic. Epic. Is there a bigger word than epic?
No, that's it.
Okay, that's what you do, Mike.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tip of the spear.
Daryl Sensitive Sykes, everybody. Give it up for Sensitive Love.
Sensitive Sykes.
Let me get Chris Cantori up here. Where's Chris Cantori? I said it before. You talk about the most famous DJ in the history of radio in San Diego. It's Chris Cantori from 91X a generation ago. A generation ago.
Yeah, you were working hard out there.
Yeah, sweat balls. Human. What are the rules? Am I?
You're fine.
Everything's
okay.
Okay. And those accolades that you say upon the approach are so ridiculous. That is very kind of you, Scott, but not true.
He says it behind your back too.
I appreciate that, but very kind, but I don't buy it.
Well, I disagree. But, Chris, when Billy Ray died, you hit me up right away and said, I don't know what you're planning, but count me in. And that's how we got you here tonight.
Yes, that's a true story. That's what got me spinning some music in a pea-infested alley right next to the Legion Hall here.
Very sexy.
The smell of urine. Seriously, I had to do a little box breathing to get myself centered.
It's better first thing in the morning.
Once I did that, we were cruising and playing nothing but Van Halen and Sammy Hagar for the great PR to, I'll tell you, I was thinking, I wasn't sure if I was going to pop up, but in case I was, I wanted to have something to say. And I was going to say, when it comes to PR, I'm sure it's already been expressed.
that the dude had a handshake that just would crush your friggin' knuckles. And every time he would approach me, I would get scared because I'm like, oh man, here he comes. He's coming in for that handshake, and I have a very wussy handshake. My handshake does. Just in pain, water, his eyes watering, my jaw would clench, and I just tried to toughen it up for him because I didn't want to let him down.
You don't want to cry.
No, I didn't want to cry, and I didn't want to let him down. I felt like if I gave up in the shake, it'd be like letting down your dad. And Billy, BR just had this amazing energy about him that, and this is what I wanted to say, aside from the crushing handshake, was when you work in this business that Scott works in. I don't work in the industry anymore, but friendships can be extremely transactional, and you don't really know who your real friends are and what the true meaning of a friend is, or a brother is, or a radio partner is. And the dynamic that I saw between Scott and BR, I was always kind of a lone wolf, especially in the first part of my career, so I envied that the two of them had such a beautiful and loving connection that was just this brotherhood that was based on loyalty, and they looked out for each other and lifted each other. And let me just tell you, that's really hard to find in the media industry. So I always, not envied it in a bad way, I just looked at it and was like, wow, that's really friggin' beautiful. And you can have a male partner in radio and have a really beautiful relationship. But props to the two of them. And as it relates to me, there was a time when we all worked together at the Union Tribune for the Sky Doug Manchester. I don't call him the Papa thing, I don't play that game. But we worked for Doug Manchester with Lynch, who was here, John Lynch. Damn, dude, I haven't seen Lynch in years.
For a long time.
He's a big boy. Always was, but I was like, damn, John. And I love them. And they had this thing going on at the UT where we all worked together. And during that time, I was going through a really challenging time. I don't even want to get into the dynamics, but I'll just say it was the hardest thing I ever went through in my life. And during that time, there are two ways people can react to you when you're going through the shit. They can either prey on your vulnerability and sometimes take advantage and take, you're in a moment of weakness, and people like that. They prey on that sometimes. But with BR, it was interesting, and I'll put Scott in this category as well. I never felt that with BR or Scott, but as it relates to BR, I'll never forget when I was going through this particular time where I didn't know if I was going to make it to the next friggin' day. Literally crying in a ball in the shower, that whole bit. I'm in my late 30s, early 40s at this point. And the love that I felt for BR, I swear to God, helped me carry myself through that moment, because I looked at this man who was a pillar of strength and said to myself, man, if this guy's got my back, I think I can get through this. And that's the God's honest truth. Knowing that BR had my back, and Scott too. I don't want to tell you sorry interview. You guys are really there for me when I was going through the hardest time in my life. I lost my career. I was dealing with family health issues. I lost my house. And these guys are friggin' there for me. And that's why I'm here for them right now. That's it. That's all I got. Honestly. That's what I'm here now.
I almost went down, and I think I hit him in the face.
He knocked me out.
Okay.
Concussion.
Sorry.
Oh
Two
my
beers.
gosh.
2 beers. Drunk.
Oh man, that was good.
Let me just say, Carlos Montoya must come up here for a minute. Come on, Carlos. Carlos was our producer. This is before HR. Billy Ray would beat up on Carlos, like not joking around, like physically would body slam Carlos, because Carlos was a football player also, and the notion of Carlos going to HR, which by the way, we didn't even have HR, but the notion of Carlos going to HR going, I just got beat up by Billy Ray, who's 6'4" and 240. he would never dare do it. So he just fought back. Carlos, come on up here for a minute. Carlos was our producer for years. I mean, really, the highest of times.
Dude, did you know I got Carlos in the radio?
I do know
Isn't
that.
that crazy? We were just talking about that. I was apologizing to him earlier.
Well, he's going on to bigger and better things now. Carlos, what's up, man? You know, great friends. Carlos, dude, I'll never forget one day, me and Billy Ray and Carlos and Pratt, it was just the four of us. We decided we're going to do this event called Clean Your Drawers. And everybody cleans out your drawers, we're going to collect all these clothes, and then we're going to give them to a homeless shelter. So we're in cahoots in Mission Valley. And people are coming by, man, and they're dropping off tons of clothes. And Budweiser gave us a truck, and they said, fill the truck. So the whole truck gets filled. There's a picture of me and Billy Ray and Carlos and Pratty on the back of the truck. We're so proud of ourselves. Look at all these clothes we've collected. And we get done, and Carlos and Pratty go, well, what now? And Billy Ray and I go, well, we're out of here. You guys drive the truck and take it to wherever the hell it needs to go. We didn't have any idea.
I've never seen Pratty drive so fast. He had to get his ass off the freeway because he was driving a big rig, I think, back to the station. And I didn't want to do it, and I made him do it. And he was just bolting it all the way back up to Mary Mason.
But I just remember so vividly you guys thinking like, well, is Budweiser coming? Like, get the truck. We're like, no, you guys handle it. Pratty was about 13 at the time, too, by the way.
Yeah, and those days with BR, the abuse was love. His heavy-handedness was a way he showed compassion. And I think anyone who received those heavy-handed love taps know exactly who he was. And he was earnest, he was strong-headed, but man, we did some crazy shit together. And one of which is maybe one of my more career embarrassing moments, which when we were working the State Farm Open at Torrey Pines. Do you remember when we were there?
Oh, I can remember. I have an idea where you're going.
We're on the 18th fairway, and we have Jim Nance and the head of CBS walking up to the interview next. And Billy Ray was not happy with the rate at which I was passing the paperwork to read off of, and those reads. And he was getting frustrated, and he would then start doing things to me. And at some point, as a producer, the only power you have is the microphone. So at some point, I turned his microphone off. Oh! And when we went to commercial break, Billy Ray stood up, grabbed me by the collar, and threw me into the fairway, which was off limits, because Tiger was going to be making his debut later that day. And Jim Nance, and the head of CBS, is watching Billy Ray beat the shit out of me on the 18th fairway. To never let me do that to him ever again.
You don't ever silence Billy Ray. Nobody puts BR in the corner.
Never. But my career started with this guy. I was his intern. I was Carlos the intern through 91X, and did the whole radio thing. And then you guys gave me an awesome chance. And working with Billy Ray and working alongside you guys and meeting a lot of these amazing friends and family, it's one of the more special times in my entire life, for good and bad.
It's amazing.
Thanks for sharing that.
How we're always like, hey, Carlos and Pratty. Everybody remembers Carlos and Pratty because those were some of the most amazing games.
And Schultz.
Schultz. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Schultz.
Thank you guys.
Carlos, great to see you, man.
Love you all.
Great friends.
Rest in peace, Billy Ray.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I see Jay Paris is walking around. I see Mike Hernandez is over here walking around. Joseph Cabral. Joe, can I say something? Do you mind? Can I say something? All right, listen. Before Billy Ray died, me and Browner and Alex are on a group text. And we have 2 listeners that are really going through some hard times right now. As a matter of fact, I brought this jacket. This is Rockin' Wine Tours, and we've got a listener who's been with us for a long time up in Temecula. His name is Toby. And we didn't know, but Toby is dealing with some very, very, very heavy cancer. And me and Browner and Alex have been texting him every day, just checking in on him. And he really didn't have much to say about his cancer. All he really cared about was Billy Ray. You know? And our friend Joseph Cabral, who many of you know, because Joseph's been around the show forever and Joseph's been on the boat trips. Joseph let us know a few weeks ago that he's also dealing with some cancer in his real life. And we were texting him every day just to check on him and make sure he's okay. And Joseph came from all the way in South County, San Diego, to be here and sit here and hang out with us all day today. Let's give some love to Joseph Cabral right here. We love you, man. We love you, brother, and thank you for coming up here, man. I know this was not easy for you. Thank you. Anybody else have anything they'd like to say before we get out of here and all cheers together and drink a beer together?
Oh, man.
Julia. You want to say something?
Scott's daughter, coming on up.
Oh, my goodness, my daughter, Julia.
It's so great. We had the chance to watch your kids grow up through the years.
Come on over here, Julia. Okay, wait, Alex is here. Okay, wait. This is my youngest, Julia, by the way, everybody, who's 19.
And I remember when the announcement was made when you were pregnant with Julia.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's this is my
right.
daughter, Jada, who just graduated from Tulane. She's 22. This is my little one, Julia, who's 19, who's going to be a junior at Cal Poly Slow. And she said she wants to say something. Jules, put the mic right up close.
I just feel like this might be a little but I don't know, I feel like the hardest part for our family, I guess, is just kind of reliving everything. And for me, especially, and Jaden, I feel like she can attest to this, is that I feel like I'm watching my childhood over again, where it's like so many of my memories like with Billy Ray and my dad especially is just like going to the station after school and like sitting right there, literally right behind my dad, on those little red baseball chair things. I don't really know what they were, but in the flip-flops, and just growing up with you guys, and that was just so fun and so different, and it just was amazing. And I told my dad this, I said, no offense, I know you guys all work so hard, but I didn't realize how important you were to see. I was like, I mean, nowadays you have Spotify and whatever, but I didn't realize, like, radio was it. Like, you guys were them. And that's just so cool to be able to say.
Wow, Jules. Yeah. She told me she was not going to lie, but I didn't realize Billy Ray was so famous. Sure.
Dad, I sent this picture to my dad once we found out the news, but there was this one picture of me and my older sister Jillian. Mind you, me and all my siblings, as you guys probably know, we're all J's. And me and my older sister Jillian were only 16 months apart, so we were basically like twins. And there's this one picture of us, I don't know how old we are, but we're both in these matching Scott and VR outfits, but both of they're these, you know, Billy Ray and my dad's face right here in the middle, but on the corner of the chest right here is supposed to say both of our names, but both of the shirts said Jillian on them. But that's okay, because I look back and I think it's really cute, even though that both of the shirts say Jillian on them. You know, I just thought that counted, and they really, you know, they put the effort in. You know, she wasn't around yet, so she's like, where am I in the picture? But it's okay. She would have been probably the third Jillian, just because everybody gets confused. But you know, the relationship my dad and Billy Ray had was beautiful, and you know, they're both really amazing role models growing up. And I'm really, really grateful that I had you too. I love you guys.
Wow. Wow, my daughters, Jada and Julia. Wow. All right.
Thank you, Dad.
Oh, it's so cute. Wow. Grown women. All right. Anybody else? What do you think?
I got one.
There you go. Linda's crying now.
Linda laughed. That was too sweet. That was too sweet. We can't. Linda's the last one. Last word goes to the lady.
All right.
All right, I wish I could end. It's a great story. And this is why I love Billy Ray. And I have a lot of Billy Ray stories. So Billy Ray, I have a lot of great personal Billy Ray stories, and they're going to stay personal because they were between us and great times and moments and stories. But he was a friend that always had your back. Scott knows that better than anybody. He had your back constantly. And at one point, like you back there, I had cancer, and it was hard. And we were in a meeting, and we were talking about how to deal with it. And at the time, I thought, I didn't know what we were going to do, and John Browder, you stepped in with the Susan G. Komen stuff. Peter Seidler, God rest his soul, he matched dollar for dollar for everything we raised. Peter Seidler was the most incredible man. And Scott and Alex and the whole team, they rallied around me. And we were in the room and we were talking and we were talking about where do we go from here? You have it, and eventually people are gonna wonder where you are, what's happening, so let's talk about it and what should we do? And I got really overwhelmed. And Billy Ray just stood up, big old rascal, do you remember that? And he said, Linda, what do you wanna do? And I said, I don't think I wanna do anything right now. And he goes, then that's what we're doing. Does everybody understand that? And that was it. And he always had your back, and he was just so great. And then, of course, everybody rallied around, and you guys did such a great job. Like, you got this back there. Cancer sucks, but man, hang in there. You got it.
Joe Kaplan, you got a lot of love, brother. You got a lot of love.
And Billy Ray, man, if he were here, he'll give you a big old rascal hug. That's how he was.
Well, tell him to take it easy on the handshake.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to be professional, but I love him.
Well, can I just say a few thank yous as we get ready to wrap this podcast? First of all, I want to thank the American Legion here at Encinitas. They saw our podcast and they said, we want to host. And we had, thank you, Steve. Steve's right back there. Steve runs the place right here. And Steve said, we want to host. And I'll tell you guys, we looked around. We weren't sure where we should have this event. And a friend of mine said to me last week, where would Billy Ray want it of the 3 places you've got? And I said, Billy Ray would want to do it at the American Legion because Billy Ray's brother was a colonel in the Army. And when Billy Ray was a kid, his father would say to his brother Bruce, "You're going to be a career military man, and you're going to be an officer, and you're going to be ranked, and you're going to be a military man. And Billy Ray, you are going to be a football star. That's what you're going to be." And so Billy Ray's father never said to them, "You can't be this or you shouldn't be that." He actually told them what they could be. So Billy Ray would always share this with me, and I would always try and say that to my kids. You can be this, you can be that, you can do whatever you want to do. I would never dare rain on somebody's parade because Billy Ray's father taught me the lesson of tell them they can do it and shit, they can do it.
So you've always been like that too. Always.
But I got a lot of it from Billy Ray. I really did. Because, he got to me when I was young and impressionable. But I thank Steve and I thank the entire team here at the American Legion. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
And thank you to the nice guys for honoring Kimberly and Billy Ray because they certainly deserve it. They have a couple that have done so much for San Diego over the years. They never say no.
That's true. So there's a guy outside cooking the BR burgers. His name is Boomer. And he's one of the funniest guys you'll ever follow on Instagram because all he does is pound beers and just munch food, and then he says, "Get in my belly." And every time he does it, I laugh my ass off. I don't know why. Like it's an original line. But shout out to Boomer, who's outside Boomer's Barbecue, who came out here to grill today and make all these BR burgers. We really appreciate that. Wait a second. Hold on a second. I'm being told, hold on. Probably because he's going to walk in here. And he's probably soaked, by the way.
He's
like 6'5", 300.
And it's hot out there.
Hey, Boomer! Thanks for making the BR burgers. Somebody give me a beer. So can I get a beer? Give me a beer for this guy right here. And watch him pound it down.
Fourth flight. Sure.
This guy's a beast.
We need a beer.
Seriously. Need a beer for Boomer. Here we go. All right, watch this, everybody. Watch this. Here we go. Here comes Boomer. Cheers to Billy Ray, Boomer.
Billy Ray.
Great job, brother.
Love that guy.
You guys are amazing.
I love him.
So while I'm saying thanks, though, let me just thank the great friends who are sitting right here. These are the inner circle of the great friends. Fat Tony right here, everybody, got all these t-shirts made. Got this sign made. Immediately went to work. Never a question of how much time do I have? You know, is there any money? Never a question. It was, it's time to rally for Billy Ray. And Fat Tony immediately went to work. Just amazing, man. 25 years.
We still have t-shirts in the back. They're $40. Get your t-shirts, and everything goes to the nice guys. And all the money that comes in goes out for a really good cause.
This guy right here, Gary, for an ego trip, I called him. I said, Gary, posse roll, man. Let's go. We got to do something for Billy Ray's birthday. And he took the whole thing over. Took the whole thing over, handled it all. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for this guy sitting right here. Because he put the whole thing in. He really did. I got to thank these two gentlemen right here, Alex and Browner.
Yeah.
We're kind of what's left of the Scott and the Yard show, you know? And when we went off the air in 2019 and we were going to Callaway every couple of days, it was like, who's with us, you know? And it was Alex, and it was Browner, and it was Billy Ray, and me and Linda. And then when Billy Ray was kind of ready to retire, and Linda was, at that time, her kids were going off to college and everything, and she was ready to retire a little bit, these were the two guys that kept the Scott and the Yard show alive right here, these two gentlemen. And for anybody who knows, any of the bullshit that we dealt with a few months ago, it was all bullshit. This is a great man right here. A great man, John Brown. Great man. A great man. And he's doing amazing stuff. He really is. So, unless I forgot anybody, I see my man Ryan Miller right here. This guy also, hey, what do you need? I'll do it. He would send me notes. Should we do this? Should we do that? I go, Ryan, don't ask. Just do it. Just go do your own thing, man. Appreciate you, Ryan. Appreciate you always having our back, dude. I see David P. over here. I see this guy, Michael Brown, right here. This guy drove down from LA. This guy's an LA buddy friend right here. How about my man Jason Lawhead sitting right over here? J Law.
Oh, yeah.
J Law.
Jason Lawhead.
Really, really freaking love Jason Lawhead. Jason Lawhead would come into the show.
Very funny guy.
Do comedy. And he's such a part of all the things we were doing.
Let me say this. Hold on, let me say this. Before it gets too late, and let everybody go. The one thing I can always say since I've joined this group, Scott is the most thankless person I've ever met in my life. He has given so many people an opportunity, and he's taken a lot of shit because of other people. But as much as Billy Ray was half of what brought all this together, the other half is still here. And so, a lot of times, we don't get the opportunity to love people when they're here. We have to celebrate their life when they're gone. Half of what we are here for today may have been gone, but the other half is still here.
You're right. And you know what, Brian? I'm going to piggyback on that because I said, where are the nice guys at? When Scott gets nominated, when he's the nice guy, when you honor him, I wanna do the speech.
There you go.
Okay? I wanna do the speech.
And so,
Because he deserves it too. The other half of Scott VR, for sure.
before everybody gets out of here, love this man. Give him a hug. He'll hug you. He'll probably give you his phone number too. But love this man because he's been great to this community. Regardless of what it's done to him, he's always given back to it. And that's what matters. The character of a person who does something and not act of anything. And he constantly shows up, and he constantly loves, and he never wants to thank you. He never wants a pat on the back. And so tonight, let's pat him on the back and let's thank him for putting this together. Let's give him a round of applause.
Hey, this is about Billy Ray. Cheers to Billy Ray. Cheers to you guys. We love you. Thank you for coming out tonight. We really love all of you guys. Bring it down, man. Love you guys. Thank you so much, everybody.
Love you, VR.